Right, right. Somebody gotta pray for us. Yeah. Just let it vibe. I ain't talking too much over this. Now that the levels is good. Just needed a small vibe, man. This needed a small vibe. I'm not gonna be that jovial. Nah, I'm lying. I gotta bring a little energy to it. Welcome back to episode 46 of the Mr. Know-It-All podcast. I am your host, Mr. Know-It-All, aka Keith Saunders, BKA Michael Voorhees, and aka Haiku if you want to be rapper about it. Spit hot fire. Thank you, I appreciate that. I had to say that again myself. R. Dot running a little late today. He'll introduce himself when he comes in. But to my left, we have two lovely young ladies today. Alright, but why don't you introduce yourself first? Co-host.
Hey, though.
What's your name?
It's me again. KQ. Kelly Q.
Yep.
And at all times.
The diva? Yeah.
I got somebody real crazy next to me. I love it.
And
we got more female energy down here today.
I like my own name, please, and I refer to me. I'm sorry.
Can you talk? You can.
And
talk.
to my left.
Please, thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Shannon.
What else they call you?
Shay at times.
Shay at times.
Yeah.
No.
Shay.
How you gonna be a podcast listener?
Shan. And
that's how I did my birthday introduction on Facebook. I said,
Oh my gosh! All right,
so that don't know, Mrs. Know-It-All.
Right, this is my wife.
What I didn't want to be called. They call me Mrs. Know-It-All. I need my own identity. I am a woman. I am not a. As women, we.
Yeah. Let's not do that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that shit right now. Yeah.
Mrs. Know-It-All.
Mrs. Know-It-All.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that one. We just going let it be and let it be, and let's just rock with it. I like the Mrs. Know-It-All thing. What is the problem with that?
I guess because I have my own identity. So when you call me Mrs. Know-It-All, people might just think of just Like I don't get to be me. I'm Shannon, aka Shay. Like that's just me. I am, Mrs. Know-It-All, Mrs. Keith Saunders. But if we want to be 2020 about it, I should be able to have my own, identity.
But see, what I love? How you take all my sayings, but you don't want to be of me. That's fucked up. Come on, fellas. your woman rides with you all the way and whatnot. But when it comes, if a motherfucker say that, look, oh, you remind me of your husband. No, I don't. I'm my own motherfucker. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? My husband reminds you of me. What the fuck you saying? Look, come on.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Mr. Know-It-All is your handle.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So then you just can't put the handle onto me because I'm your wife.
Stop saying handle. I'm too immature for it. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's Mrs. Saunders. Mrs. Saunders.
I'm Shannon.
Yeah. Can I please
Yeah, I need a cool nickname. Like you're the diva all time.
Shan
Look,
Boogie.
You're not, Mr. Know-It-All's podcast host at all times. You have your own identity. You're the diva.
Well, that's why I come in with 4 or 5 aliases in this motherfucker.
I know, but
you know what I'm saying?
I get Mrs. Know-It-All. How original is that?
You know what, Shannon? We're not doing this. We're not doing this. When we come up,
can I be Mrs. Knows More?
You gonna be Mrs. GTFO? How about that? Fuck out of here!
This is not even.
Wait a minute, he said GTFO.
Did I say what? Get the
F
out of here! Yo, H. I forgot the H. I forgot the H. Forgot the H. I forgot the H. See, don't do that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all ain't gonna team up on me. Can I please give a shout out to the Spodcast listener? Spodcast?
Yes.
Spotify. Oh, well, we got some Spotify shit to talk about today, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I meant to listen to that.
Oh, we'll talk. We'll talk. Spotify listeners, the Apple Podcast listeners, Google Podcast listeners, the Stitcher listeners, Anchor listeners, Home Team, the YouTube viewers. What's cracking lagging on the Crowny side? I got some apologizing to do to y'all too. So hopefully we get the shit right. Hit us up on IG at Mr._Know-It-All_pod. That's on IG. Get with us on the fan page, which is never a dull moment on the fan page, on Facebook. Mr. Know-It-All Podcast fan page, that's on Facebook. And please send us all your fuckery, duckery, and schmuckery over to Mr. Know-It-All-Pod at gmail.com. That's Mr. Know-It-All-Pod at gmail.com. Alright, we have a useless fact. I'm going to go right into the useless fact today, because I ain't with the fucking round. Did y'all know that a Black Panther's skin is a mixture of blue, black, gray, and purple? So even past the fur, that motherfucker's black through and through. Yep. More colors, but more blackness. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't black. We got, we know some people that are black, but you know what I'm saying? We are, you know what I mean? No, don't do that.
That's gray.
Huh?
I said I don't know anybody that's gray.
You'd be surprised. I know niggas that look camo. You know what I'm saying? So
I've seen some people that's great, but they probably just need to take showers.
No, that's just dusty. Yeah, you can tell that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Get his whole life right. Yo, before we get into, can you please pass me that tablet that you're writing on, because that has my drop for my my sponsor. Yeah. How about that? Thank you.
Do it.
Thank you kindly.
I would like to read the sponsor.
You want to read the sponsor? Oh my gosh! All right, I'm gonna let my wife. What you want to be called? Shay Deezy? Mrs. No, that sounds weird.
And that could be dual.
Yeah, Mrs. No More. That's so weird.
We're gonna find you
the most.
Oh my gosh. It don't matter.
I could just be Shannon.
You can be Shannon. My wife, Shannon Poe Saunders, is going to read. All right, can you please? You have to talk directly into the mic.
I'm speaking.
She's reading the spot for Blue Chew.
I am.
Yeah.
So I start with the title. Do I read everything?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me see.
Blue Chew. Blue Chew offers you the same active ingredients as in Viagra and Cialis at a fraction of the price in a chewable form, which is very convenient, fellas. It's prescribed online and shipped to your door discreetly, so nobody will know that you are getting some assistance. Cancel anytime, no gimmicks, no lock-in. ChewItDoIt.com/knowitall is the promo code. Again, that is ChewItDoIt.com/knowitall. So you will get a discount on these lovely chewable sexual enhancements.
1 month free.
Yeah,
1 month free.
so.
Yeah, cause no, you're right.
I mean, that's
That's discount. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm gonna help you out.
So again, it's about to be recruiting season for what is it? The
Cuffing season.
Yes, recruiting season.
But they have the
cuffing season draft.
Cuffing season. So fellas, especially if you're meeting a lady who really don't know about your sexual performance,
right.
You can get some Blue Chew, and you can start it off right.
BlueChew.com / KnowItAll. That was great. You did a really good job. Hold on, let me get your round of applause off and shit. That was a good look. Good job. You did it. Also, make sure that if you don't want to go to that direct link, the promo code is KnowItAll. If you go to BlueChew.com, just type in the promo code KnowItAll. KnowItAll is all one word. Man, that was nice having a little bit of help doing that shit today.
So she was right. So because scouting season stops on the 31st. Right.
It was scouting season of No. It's the scouting part of cuffing season.
Right. So September 1st through the 30th is draft season.
How's your draft going?
Huh?
How is your draft going?
Oh, I'm already at preseason.
You said what?
I'm already at preseason.
Oh, yeah, oh shit. All right. You making any cuts yet? No cuts?
Took all the applicants, whatever.
Oh, so
through 5, y'all made it.
No.
No cuts? No cuts? Everybody's on the starting 5.
There's no 5.
Oh.
See, Kelly, because I really do believe, I'm married, so I'm not speaking for myself, but I do believe that if I were to
speaking to the mic, baby.
If I were to be a single woman, then I probably, I'm not saying sexually you would sleep with 5 people.
Right.
But you could have, your Rita's Water Ice guy, you could have your
what the fuck is a Rita's Water Ice guy?
Like a guy who you just go to Rita's Water Ice with. Oh, hey, want to get some water ice?
Who the fuck just take people to Rita's Water Ice?
I mean, nowadays, Negroes are not paying for dates at all. So Rita's Water Ice is about all you can get in the front parking lot. You can have your cookout guy. You can take the cookout to family events.
You got one guy that you'll actually bring around your family.
Yeah. Right.
He may not be your dude, but you know how to act around your family.
Your free lunch guy, whoever occasionally y'all just go to lunch.
No, don't do that. Because we just talked about that.
I used to work downtown.
That shit. I hate the thought of that.
But you might be the same thing for him. Like, who's to say you might be in one of his 5? You might be the girl who cooks. You know what I mean? You might be the Sunday dinner chick. So I think. Hey
fellas, if you talking to any girl that don't cook, you doing yourself a fucking disservice. Period.
Well, I think,
that's just me.
And then there's also talking to you, because again, people. So you might have a girl who, or I'll use it in the female. So you might have a guy who can cook, but he's really good at sex. You might have a guy who's really bad at sex, but he's really nice to be around your family. You might have a guy who can fix your car. I mean, he's not good at anything. He's probably good as hell, but he can fix your car. So you gotta go to you gotta bring on the stuff that nobody cares.
Yeah, we are really we have really good. I don't even like the thought.
Build yourself a man.
I don't like
you got the rent dude. You got the rent dude. You got the dude that you let be around your kids. You got the dude that fixes the car, and you build yourself a man.
And you got the late co-host that shows up.
What?
What's up?
What up?
How much cologne did you spray before you came in this motherfucker?
That cologne is called 420.
God damn!
Can't buy for men.
Can't buy for men. Can you please introduce yourself to everybody?
What's going on, people? What's going on? It's your boy R. Ruffy Hendrix, the General, aka Ruffy Hendrix. Up for the South is in the building.
This nigga comes in like he had to weave the paparazzi outside and shit. Like, had to come into the back way because shit be happening.
My head's not I'm in the building.
Look, listen.
Whatever he just did.
What's that?
Cleared my mic like a mug.
When I plugged in.
It's like whatever. When you plugged in, Jesus.
Come in with this shit.
I can hear in both headphones.
Well,
shit. I want you to hear me coming.
Oh man.
I mean, that's what I tell most people.
I see. Yes. I see. This is the type of thing that happens. So we've already been moving along briskly. We're trying to get a little laughs out the way. We got some shit to talk about today.
But when we get to that particular subject, there probably will be real tears. I'm just saying,
Kelly gonna cry in the car. She's just basically telling you that.
No, I'm
You know what
not
saying?
gonna cry in the car. I'm gonna cry
That's a
here.
heavy subject. Like, how far
It's-
deep
it's-
into that argument? I think, you know what I mean? I think it should be, not that I'm just, there's no more of it all.
Oh my
Find
God!
the name before the end.
No, we're not gonna find a name. We're gonna stick with that name. We're gonna
What
stick
is it?
Mrs. Know-It-All. You'll be fine. Did you have aliases? Don't do that. But all right, so here we go.
I think we should keep it light and just and happy.
We're going to try to keep it light and happy. We unfortunately are in kind of a small kerfuffle because we're the ones that have to not really tell you because you probably know already, but we record on Sunday and this happened on Friday night. Chadwick Boseman passed away from was it colon cancer?
Yes. Stage 4.
And you know it's if you living under a rock, you know who exactly Chadwick Boseman is. Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, 21 Bridges, and most famous for T'Challa, the Black Panther, not his little cousin, not the dude that was gearing up to be him, the Black Panther.
Yes.
One of the biggest Marvel movies, one of the biggest movies in history, with a 95% black cast, and he was the head of it. When I tell you that this shit hit hard, it hit hard, y'all. It hit hard. You know, a lot of people are mourning. A lot of people are very, very upset about this. The last time that I felt this way about somebody that I did not know was when I found out that Nip passed away. It's just it's rough because I just think of
we're losing great ones.
Yeah, and the issue is with me is what the symbolism of what the things that he did meant to people. Even if you weren't a Marvel fan, even if you weren't that person that gave a shit about what was going on with Marvel, if you were a fan of baseball or baseball history, the Negro Leagues and Jackie Robinson,
if you notice, the
James Brown, like
the actual characters that he played were icons who pushed the envelope.
Yeah,
and they pushed the envelope for us.
Yes.
So it was
and the levels that he did it, he played icons in the legal, entertainment,
right,
and sports levels.
Right.
Like all different ones.
Right, all different ones, all that were fighting for civil rights in some way.
Right.
And of their own, and maybe that was his way of fighting
of still fighting.
Yeah.
Denzel said he's continuing on.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part is that he died right now, and the biggest civil rights movement, the only civil rights movement that ever went around the world. Like, we're in the middle of it right now.
Yes. Right.
And he passed away. I'm like, how do you take Black Panther in the middle of like the biggest? You know what I mean? So that was my conversation with God. It's just like, why now? Like, when you really, when everybody's looking for leaders, and you know what I mean? I never even thought of the character in this time, but when he dies now, I'm like, that's correct. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Because even in general, if you just listen to him speak, when he's not even speaking about Black Panther, but just listening to him speak, and it was just so powerful and intense.
But
how he conveyed his thoughts.
But the whole thing is that even listening to him and even watching his mannerisms, that was never his intention. His intention was to talk to you as if, all right, this is what I know, and I want to convey this to you. Not along the lines of, I feel as if that because I'm in this position that I feel, I have to teach you what this is. All this is me conveying to you what I know. I don't like.
At some point, because he always talked about, basically, and working towards that. And I think maybe because when I say crying real tears, when I found out Friday night, I was crying like this was somebody I actually knew and new in my life. Like I was friends with, family with, or whatever. It just hit me that hard, and I've been praying consistently since Friday.
Right.
For to God to reveal to me what my purpose is, because he's basically
right.
He would have been the same age as me come his next birthday.
Right.
And looking at everything he accomplished, not that I'm saying anything I accomplished in my life.
Said the same thing. I told my wife that this morning. Right. I said it makes me feel as if that I haven't done shit. It makes me feel as if that anything that I've strived for, anything that I've moved towards, has been half-stepping. And sometimes we shouldn't feel that way about the way we right, because you can't do the comparison of right.
What you've done in your life to what he's done in his life.
Yeah.
But the point is, you physically, with him being, and my sister and I were talking about this because he's exactly the same age as us. Right. And so I think it's feeling different to us because of that. And it's just like, what is our purpose? How can we do more for our life? Like,
all right, so
can I be a little deep for about?
Yeah. I want to talk. I was going to go
somewhere else in there.
Yeah, I want to introduce this, because what I want to do is I actually want to get it, because this is a time where, you know, we there's even personal issues in our that's going on in our life right now. You know what I mean? You know, Brother Ruff just kind of put me on something he's going through right now, and it's one of those things where so it's one of those situations where
it's not even that.
One of the reasons, the biggest reason why that I have Shannon down here today recording with us is because I want to start a segment, whether we do it every episode or whether we do it. I think we talked about this before.
We talked about this before.
Oh, right. We have to do 5 minutes with therapists. I want her to base. Yes. And she is actually a licensed. She is a licensed therapist. She really is. So guide us through this. Talk to us exactly what. Tell us what exactly. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this?
So I think I'll say my personal thought that'll lead into my professional thought.
Okay.
But he had said something during his speech at Howard. He had said, when he did the graduation commencement speech, he quoted my favorite Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, said the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope in a future. That is my favorite Bible verse. It was read at our wedding. I'll have a tattoo somewhere. Kelly talked about it a couple episodes ago. She mentioned it. Right. It is my ultimate favorite Bible verse, and I say that it's so. My personal thought is just that that gave me a little bit of closure with his death being so untimely for us, because I also said to Keith, I said, our God's time is not our time. You know what I mean? And once we fulfilled our purpose, then that is what we do. We do transition on. So that's my personal thought, just my my religious pieces of it. But I do think that we all do have a purpose, even if you think you haven't. All of us can't be award-winning actors. All of us can't be. All of us can't be Obamas. All of us can't be Halle Berry's, or we all can. You know what I mean? We all can't be these we all can't be the owner of Beats headphones and things like that. But we don't. If your purpose is to be the Joe Clark, you know what I mean, of the world, lean on me principle. If I'm dating myself, if your purpose is,
that's our demographic. Don't worry about it. Yeah, trust me. That's our age range anyway.
So
you know what I mean?
We all have different purposes, and we don't really know. I think we look up to people and we see what they're doing, and Keith, like you had said, oh well, I think what I'm doing is not shit. But you used to be a football little league coach. You have this podcast, like you have a platform. So although
that's spreading around the world,
right? So although
we're top 10 in 2 other countries.
Yeah, Zimbabwe. No, it was Zimbabwe. Tanzania. No, always Wakanda. Always Wakanda.
So that's don't look at. When you look at purpose as being this very big, like purpose means a purpose, it's a purpose, I need to.
This
have
what I was supposed to do.
Right.
You know what? Me being a mature 21-year-old.
So mature, babe. So mature.
How many degrees, 21-year-old?
A bachelor's, a master's, and a license in therapy. I think that I'm just not starting to realize.
Humble flex. flex. Always humble flex, niggas.
I think I'm just starting to realize my purpose. And, if I tell a little story, just real quick, now that I'm taking over the podcast, but when I was growing up, I had two best friends. Denise was a talker. She had the gift of gab. She was a class president. My other best friend was the cheerleader, captain of the Pomerettes. Shout out to Tia and Denise. I was in high school, and I was just the friend. I didn't. They had jobs. They was captain of this, like Tia was like. I was chilling. They were just I didn't, they used to let Tia with braid hair. I forget what other talent. Denise could write and do resumes and all kind of things. I was literally just the friend. I had really no talent for
So was that your motivation, your push?
So I think that I didn't have the pressure of that. I think I say that to say that they used to always laugh at me and say, "Oh, Shannon, you don't have a talent. You don't have a talent."
Right.
Well, I could make people laugh a little bit. That was like one talent I gained. But then I realized the older I got that I can speak to anybody. I can inspire people. I have the job I have now. As a corporate trainer for a Medicaid insurance company because I have a gift of gab too. I can speak to anybody. I can help you through any situation that you know what I mean. I am like a super. I don't want to sound a super bomb therapist, but there's some horrible therapists out there that you will go to.
Yes, mine stopped seeing me. They quit on me.
There's I have
She was sleeping
and I realized
no, I didn't sleep in any of my therapists.
I'm sorry.
Long story short, I realized that every single job I had prepared me for the role that I have now as a trainer, which
it was stepping stones.
Yeah, like every lesson, like when I didn't get a couple jobs before, I realized it was because I was supposed to go and get this job and work with these people so I can learn this
skills.
Yeah, exactly. And I was supposed to be. It was, I wasn't used to not getting jobs. When I first graduated with my master's, I got turned down. I was trying to move up in the same company I was in, and I got turned down for all them jobs. It was the first time I ever felt.
Okay, so it's not just me.
That I ever felt regret, but I realized that God really sets things up for us to knock down, and you're going to eventually be enlightened to your purpose. Mm-hmm. He's working with you and dealing with you on a daily basis until you find that moment, And like I said, I'm a very mature 21-year-old, and I'm just now realizing that I'm just not realizing what my purpose is and what I'm good at this right age. So, I think don't look at purpose as this
grand gesture.
Yeah, this grand, that. You know what I mean? It's like which now I'm starting to go into trainer mode, but we got to learn to celebrate even the small things every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? The small things every day. Because the small steps is what lead to big steps.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I mean? So I think that take purpose out of this cloud in the sky where you have to be enlightened, and you're walking in your purpose every single day. And if you're not, like you said, pray for whoever you believe in, ask for some guidance, or ask yourself. My purpose came from a conversation with a coworker who said, if you could do anything in the world, what could you do? Wasn't a job I hated, wasn't making the money I should have with all these degrees and licenses, managing people who I was in a horrible way, like mentally I couldn't, and she said, well, what would you do if you could do it? I said, I would travel around the world and I would be a motivational speaker. She said, then why don't you do it? And it planted this seed that started me looking for jobs. I went from teacher to speaker, and I found this training job, ignored the email for a week because I said, who emails somebody about a job? Best company in the world, mind you, I love the company. But that switch in just my profession came from a conversation where somebody said, if you could do anything in the world, Vanessa, she has her own practice in Jersey. Shout out to her. I wish I knew the practice was called.
Yeah, no, I wish she was a sponsor. Keep going.
I'm sorry.
I love you too, Vanessa. Go ahead.
Congratulations. But it was one conversation that sparked that thing.
Right.
My whole purpose could have been to not get them jobs, to be working with Vanessa, to have this conversation, to get to be where I'm at now, where I didn't miss a work in this pandemic. Had I been working that other job, you best believe checks would have stopped.
Right.
So I think that, I say all that to say, don't, look inside yourself, look outside yourself until you feel satisfied. Don't let the world define what your contribution is.
Right.
You define what your contribution is.
Tupac said it himself. He said it best. He said, I will not change the world, but I guarantee you that I will spark the brain that will change the world. So, I mean, I think
there's
that...
also nothing wrong with you feeling like that you will.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, it's understandable. No, I get it. I think that was a part of his humility, though. I think that him saying that was like, okay, listen, because if you are the forefather of the father that changes things, aren't you the father of who changes things as well? I said father. Don't think there was an extra R. But I was saying something real. Fuck y'all. Or if you are the forefather of the father that changes things, aren't you a changer as well?
He's just gonna repeat it like we can get it.
Because you need to understand what I'm saying.
And I feel like
They're passing it down. The
Right.
push, the motivation, the drive. It all comes.
right. You inspired.
Yes.
You sparked it.
You know,
set the fire on place.
Martin Luther King, his father was a preacher.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
And so that pushed him to be something great.
Yep.
And as fathers, as parents, period. Not just fathers, because there's two mothers sitting down here with us. As mothers, we want our children to be better than us, greater than us, without half of the mistakes that it took us to get to where we are, as we're still trying to evolve and become greater ourselves.
Absolutely. No, that makes all the sense in the world.
I think with Pop, with that particular statement with Pop, is almost as the same level of Martin Luther King when he was saying in his final speech that I may not get there with you. You know, I may not get there with the promised land. Like, they have this forethought that they know.
Right.
They're not going to see the end of this, but I need you to keep going.
Kind of like Abraham knew he wasn't going to see the promised land.
Right.
All right, so let me segue for a second and whatnot.
I'm sorry. I had to say one other thing.
Go ahead.
And this is one thing concerning the situation with Chadwick that we also have to realize, and where it becomes a little bit more personal for me. He passed from colon cancer. That's what my great grandfather passed from.
Right.
They say, especially as African American men, after the age of 30, that's when we should start getting that, checked in our prostate as well, which is something that we ain't big or fine on. Although I can say I've actively since 30 been asking every year when I go, but this year, which now I'm 40, when I go for my next physical, I'll definitely probably be unfortunately going under those procedures.
Yep. Me as a urologist, you know what I mean.
My metabolism, my system, even though I have traits, because again, like I say, my great grandfather passed from colon cancer. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, he passed from prostate cancer.
Right.
So these are traits that, as other traits are passed through, good and bad, but there are things that we have to be mindful for.
Right.
He got diagnosed with stage 3 in 2016. He fought 4 more years.
Right.
So it got to stage 4. And during that, he was also still filming movies, going through surgeries, going through chemo. That's why I said we should be expecting at least, besides for Black Panther 2, at least 4 more films.
I'm hoping that they finish Black Panther 2. I think we talked about it before you came down here. We were talking about that. We were talking about that.
It was finished. I know. Was it 5?
Five Bloods. That's on Netflix. On Netflix now. Yeah.
That's up.
I gotta watch that.
It's a couple others that he
Did anybody see 21 Bridges? Because I heard it was a real good movie.
I heard it was.
The End Game directors did it. No shit. But yeah, because we cheaper out here.
Right. But it's supposed to be New York.
Let me keep moving. Let me talk for a second. Jacob Blake. We didn't even get a chance. This shit happened last week, right after we had would it happen right after we recorded, or the day before, something like that?
Afterwards.
Right after.
What? We spoke at the RNC. What?
Who? I'm talking about Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake shot in his back
7 times.
7 times. Yeah, they did.
It
No.
It was literally right afterwards.
No. All right, so. We already know this ain't nothing new to us. I'm not gonna come up with a revelation. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, look, guess what? Look what the fuck's happening." This is what the fuck is happening. There is a war outside, and therefore you need to keep your fucking head on the swivel, and let's just try to do the best that we can and pray for our people, because this shit keeps happening. You know what I'm saying? This shit keeps happening. I don't know exactly the steps that needs to happen for us to be different, but I'm not even worried about that no more. Now it's just about survival. Now it's about survival. Because if you can't break up 2 kids from fighting, you know what I mean, with your children in the car, and without a cop following you with a gun drawn and shooting you in your back as you open your door with your kids in the car, I don't know what else to keep saying. over and over again, and I find myself having to justify this bullshit to other black people because for some reason there's a stranglehold that, and there's nothing against white people, that the white people in authority have over us to make us feel as if that we're always in the wrong until we're proven right. And the problem with that is, I show this video to somebody, oh man, he shouldn't have did that, something. Motherfucker, don't follow me and shoot me in my back. I was not armed. This is fucked up, man. Like, and I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm talking about this part because we already know that the next part that goes along with this situation, that's already fucked up. Let's talk about the young boy who makes me feel away because I have a son this nigga's age named Kyle Rittenhouse, who's gunning down protesters with a large fucking caliber rifle. Yep. In the middle, in front of the cops.
Yeah.
After all this happens, they decide to start protesting for a peaceful protest. Cops blocking shit off, and a motherfucker drove across state. Mama dropped him off. Mama dressed just like him. You see the picture of Mama? Mama had, yeah, they all had the guns on them. All had the fucking guns on them, and they ride up.
So when you go across state lines,
is that the motherfucker they gave some water to when they had him cuffed sitting on the ground?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know.
So
when
fuck him, his mama, his daddy, his grandma, and anybody else connected to him.
Here's my thought process. They're peacefully protesting.
Right.
In the state to the left of him. Right? Whatever.
Right.
You cross the state to do what? You crossed the state line.
You was looking for the smoke. You was looking for the fucking smoke.
You were looking for the shit.
Yeah, you was.
You were 17 years old.
Meditated. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Medicated.
Probably medicated as well. Yep.
You were going on the hunt.
Yep.
That's what you were doing. You were going on the hunt.
Absolutely. So he crossed it.
Somebody.
He crossed this state line.
There was another white man
shot two people.
Up to him.
Oh,
his skateboard.
And God rest his soul, because that's the one he killed.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. This is what I'm talking about. Don't ever think, black people, don't ever get it fucked up and believe that we do not have allies out here. Because I'm trying to tell you, and I've been saying this before, and a lot of people have been saying this, man. We pussy. We scared to death, bro. I don't care what you tell me. Black people, we scared to death.
Well, I wouldn't put it that.
No, you don't have. I'm saying.
I know. I wouldn't say that we are the.
I'll say.
No. I'm saying it to make a point.
I'll say in slave days we were pussy.
I'm saying it to make a point.
I will say we're scared. We're more mindful.
In slave days, we were not pussies. In slave days, we were doing what the, well, not me, but my ancestors, our ancestors, and we're doing what the fuck they had to do to try to
and we
survive.
Still are, and that's why I said that we're not pussy.
Right.
Yeah. We are still doing what
we have to do to survive.
Because all of us have got that speech.
I get it.
All of us have gotten that speech about what to do when the cops pull up, what not to do, how to act, so on and so forth, what to say, what not to say, how to even, not even cops, how to address and talk to people who are not the same color as you. You know what I mean? We've all been taught. There's this meme I seen on Facebook that said something. It didn't say white people, but it said your black friends are exhausted.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
And I shared that because let me tell you something. We and I've had this conversation with my superiors and different people at my company because it's like, listen, you know, our world is just so much different than theirs. We have been, and I don't think we're pussy. I think that we've been trying to survive.
Right, understood.
We juggling a whole bunch of balls at once. Survival. Yeah. Take care of the kids. Make sure and get discriminated.
Understood. I get that portion.
Food on the table. Make sure this happens. Do this. Like, we're juggling so many balls at one time. It's about survival.
I only juggle.
But I just I know. But listen. My thing is that this just.
Guys, you keep saying it. When you saying it, you moving your hands. Like,
come on.
See, you do it again.
This is supposed to be this. Oh my God. This is supposed to be like. This is supposed to be the serious part about it. Listen, just listen to what I'm saying. The reason why. The reason why.
Foreplay going on in the podcast. Some shit. Kelly, you in the middle. You in the wrong seat.
The reason why I brought this portion of it up, and then I chose the words that I said, is because what bothers me the most is that we're not figuring this situation out until it's too late. I'm not telling nobody to be gangster and be gung-ho, but I tell you what, we'll smack the shit out of each other in a fucking minute. We'll shoot the shit out of each other in a fucking minute. But let me tell you something. They are fucking killing us. There's nothing else you can tell me. Let me tell you something. There's nothing else that you can tell me when my life is being threatened. I may be afraid, but let me finish. I may be afraid of everything that goes along with what the authority brings, and this is what I mean by being pussy. When you're afraid for your life, it's called fight or flight. And we have been systematically oppressed for so long that our brains are on backwards. We don't even understand the fact that they put fear in us before the fear. How do you put fear in God of people that are strong enough to defend themselves?
Definitely understand it, but let me tell you something. For the majority of us, making it back home to my kids is way more important than that of what you just said.
But you want to understand, that's my whole point. They're killing us anyway. You have more of a problem.
At the beginning of the tides turning, though.
When?
I think the protests. I think the lobbying. I think the getting I got to messing up her name. I saw her. Kamala Harris getting the Biden Harris ticket. Like, we're at the beginning stages of what could to where maybe my great grandkids won't be in this world.
Understood. You know what I mean? Understood.
So we are sparking minds, just like you said. We're sparking the minds that are going. We're sparking the mind of somebody who's going to change us. We're doing the best, and we're doing the most.
We're trying to lay whatever foundation that we can lay now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're laying a foundation that our grandparents and great grandparents couldn't.
Exactly.
Because think about it. Our great grandparents couldn't vote.
I agree. I understand exactly what you mean.
So with that being stated, it was 1967, if I was correct. 64. That was passed. That's when the groundwork was placed. What we're doing, what's going on right now, is more cements being added on.
I get that. I agree with that.
Being added on.
Right? No, I get that.
It's at this point, it's everybody. Can't nobody turn a blind eye no more to it. Can't nobody. For so long, they could turn a blind eye. And I understand why you use the wording, because it's felt like that. And when I'm sitting here really thinking about it, in some ways, certain slaves were stronger because they were fighting back. They were trying to run away.
No, you're right.
Harriet Tubman created a whole underground railroad to get them up out of there.
Right.
We've become docile, if you'll say.
There you go, docile. There you go. But we're being faced with direct opposition.
But we have to still look at big. Honestly, brother, there's some shit that I feel that I know I can't say. I literally know I can't say some shit that should happen that I just can't say. And we all feel this way, but we can't say because but the real messed up thing is turn around and they can flip it and they can speak about it on their conversation on their stations and everything the hell else, and it's not a problem.
And they speak, but they don't speak it. They do.
We have to, and they do it, and they do it. We have to the same way we quick to pull up a camera every time something go on. We have to continue on with that. And I honestly feel as if, in some aspects, if you're in a situation that we've seen a couple videos like this after the Arbery situation, the George Floyd situation, where in that, we're supposed to, as a community, they forgot about the thing of citizens arrest. And each state's laws or counties are funny with that.
Right.
But the same token, these officers who are committing these crimes, as people, as humans, as citizens, because as Dick Gregory said, we don't live in a community. We live in a neighborhood. A community polices itself, runs the banks, runs everything. We in a neighborhood. We on borrowed land, just trying to make it, and we fighting ourselves so much like crabs in the barrel. We gotta stop fighting like crabs in the barrel. Right. We have to unify.
I have such an idea about that crabs in the barrel theory. I have such an idea, but I think, and I'm gonna sound like that probably, I want to say token black person, but I'm gonna say, but it starts with the judges. It starts with the people and it starts with the people and your elected officials in those offices where we don't show up at. So we keep, by not showing up, we keep power. We keep people who have no interest in us over us because we're not showing up. You know what I mean?
Like
Which is why You know what I mean? Which is, so when I say vote, I get it. Some things are rigged. I understand that it's the electoral college, not the popular vote.
Right.
I get all of that. But when we don't make our voices heard and we only make them heard in the, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about the protests. I'm talking about the riots. You know, I get that there's a difference between a protest and a riot.
Right.
When we come collectively together to riot the hell out of a place and spread anarchy, and you just burnt down the grocery store that your grandma got her medicine from. Now up here in our neighborhood.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of it's a fucked up situation.
We, you know what I mean, we can say that, oh, okay, we're pussy, we need to be doing this, we need to be doing, but that's not gonna get us where we need to be at. You know what I mean? That's not. We need people like us behind those benches. We need people like us in the, you know what I mean, in those senators, in those chairs for Senate. We need more people to even start trying to run. We need to be raising more judges and more sheriffs.
You know what we really need at this point, and not a physical in the battle sense, in the with actual guns and artillery, but in mindset and power and other aspects. We need to have another civil war.
And see, and that's kind of, but you know what? Unfortunately, the masses are not intelligent enough, or because it's groupthink. Groupthink is not intelligent enough in order to have.
You understand what I'm going with that?
Right, but groupthink is not intelligent. Listen. Groupthink is not intelligent enough to have a civil war of intellect, of common sense. Because what happens is that the person that is not of the intellect, that is not of the common sense, that is not of the intellectual promise that somebody else is, automatically wants to take it physical because they feel as if that's the only place that they stand a chance. That's the reason why combat
everything in this country has to be written.
No, but that's the reason why spelling bees are not as important or as favored as combat sports in this country or in this world. You know the reason why? Because the stronger motherfucker, right, the stronger person is the person that makes shit happen. And see, my thought process is this: it will never be different. And the reason why it won't ever be different is because of group think. You can't break everybody down and make them see the way that we wanted them to see things. One person could agree with you, but they got 15 people that they love and they honor and they respect that agree with the way they want to be. You might have allies, but you're always going to have people to stand in opposition. And the problem is the people that stand in opposition to us right now are the authoritative figures. So my thing is that this, and I never condone any shit like this, never in life or whatnot. Civil war is correct, but it ain't gonna be intellectual, and I'm telling you that shit now. It ain't. It's not. And it ain't. This ain't reflective of nobody else on this podcast. I'm just telling you that people are getting tired of the shit. If you're gonna kill me anyway, you're gonna kill me for a reason.
I feel
that's what people feel.
I feel
it really is. People feel the way.
In the actual physical sense, that's just going to, in actuality, lower the value of this country even fucking more.
Look who we got in fucking office. That shit is already a given. We've made dumbass decisions, and we continue to make them.
No, that shit will plummet out. Bro, we will be looking. India will be looked at better than us.
We on our fucking way. We're on our way.
India will be looked at as better than us.
They are. We're on our fucking way, dog. It's terrible.
Calm down. Understand something. The moment he was elected, we went from being one of the most whatever countries.
Turn into a fucking reality TV show,
And first,
ridiculous, bro. Come on.
First, the man has had how many bankruptcies?
11, 12.
How can you? I look, like I've said this before. I look at America as a company. The president is our CEO. If on a regular day you have a regular business and you are the CEO of your business and you can't even pay your bills and you're filing bankruptcy, so you're covered.
It's not can't pay his bills, don't want to pay his bills.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You're doing that.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut y'all off. We're going to have to move forward because we're going to talk about this.
Y'all got to talk a fucking lot today. Kelly didn't say shit. So Kelly's going on with her combos. Kelly been chilling.
All right, so
I'm going to say what I need to say.
Go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead. Say what you going to say.
We ain't having no civil war. That's some bullshit. We ain't even going down that road. But the whole thing is, I will respect a Republican that votes more so than I will respect somebody that says, well, none of them represent me. I'm not voting. Right. Guess what? That Republican made his fucking voice heard. And so he got somebody into the system that represents him. Like I said last week, I vote so I can complain. I'm also voting so I can get Trump out the office. But I'm voting to get the other people that Trump put in place out the office. You have to understand that we're not just voting for the presidency. We're voting for somebody that may be nominating the next Supreme Court justice. We're voting for somebody that's going to be in Congress. We're voting for somebody that's going to be in Senate. I'm voting for somebody that's going to represent my ideals. Now, Biden and Harris may not be my ideal, but they're a hell of a lot better than what we had. So right now, I agree with that. This is that bridge to 2024. Right. Because we can at least take a half a second of a breath. To develop whoever it is we need to have in place in 2024. Because right now, the whole ideal of this is get Trump out. There's no other ideal. I'm not worried about the black agenda. I'm not worried about the LGBTQ agenda. I'm not worried about any other.
You almost had it right.
I'm not worried about any other agenda than get Trump out. That's my agenda.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
Then I'm voting for you.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, that's a start.
And now we one point before you transition on, which is about to take this conversation. And like I said,
oh shit. Yeah.
Maybe I'll go back just the therapy.
Yeah. But how about
I'm sorry. So my point is that we also can't forget that it starts at home. It starts with us. It starts with how we raise our kids. We have been, no offense to his big mama and all of them, but we ain't really been passing down what we need to pass down to a bunch of our kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? We haven't been. We've been selling hoop dreams more so than we be selling these. You know, these being a senator or being a chef. I'm not chef, a sheriff or being a judge or you know what I mean? Like my son said, I want to be a barber. I said, why not be a barbershop owner? We don't manifest, and so not all of us. I'm not saying all of us as people of color, but this change has to start at home. It starts when the minute you pop that baby out. You have to start manifesting in that kid from that moment forth, because that's what's going to spark the change. You know what I mean? We sitting around here waiting for somebody go in to come and handle us. No, we need to be making sure that our kids we need to be making sure that the reason why I'll say the thems, I'll say the us's as being minorities and people of color, and then the thems are non-minorities, the theys. The reason why they control everything is because they breed people who can control everything. We breed listeners. They breed leaders. You know what I mean?
Do they breed or do they train?
It doesn't matter. They show. Train.
They show. They show.
How do you think this man became president? This man became president because he thought he could, even though he's not qualified. He thought he could, ran, and got some people to believe that he could, so he did. You know what I mean? We don't breed leaders. Or we breed, you gonna be the next. We sell into that kid to get the football person or the basketball. We sell into the LeBrons and I don't know football like that. We sell into the football stars.
Goddamn shame. Go ahead.
We sell into the Beyonce, the Jerome Bettises, the Lynn Swans. Don't get me started on my Steelers. We sell into the entertainers and the ball players. You know what I mean? We don't sew into the you're an A student, you're a licensed therapist. Right now, black therapists are in such demand. But there's a shortage.
Dying for a black
there's a
male
shortage
therapist.
Black males
that takes fucking insurance. I found them. But they don't take insurance.
And human services, period. But that, like I said, so I'm a end that just by saying that I love Beyonce, I love LeBron, but that can't be all we breed.
Like
you know what I mean?
I would say, to piggyback on that, I would say, like my son sometimes write lyrics or write whatever and write raps or whatever, and I tell him, I was like, if that's what you want to do, bully, but the lyrics that you're writing, I say, I would love to see you be a songwriter, because no matter who sings your song, you're gonna get paid off of that.
Right.
I was like, not just because you sung it or somebody else wrote a song and you sung it and you made some money, but if you put something down and it's by blah 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 blah, because I'm not gonna say my son's name, that's your song for life. And I tell him about Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton wrote "I Will Always Love You." how many, she wrote that in the 60s. And how many people have sung that song?
You know what,
including Whitney Houston.
You know what, you actually bring up a good point and whatnot, because that's actually a hell of a transition and a lot of the shit that we about to talk about. I wanted to keep this in a current event thing, but the current event kind of flows into a topic. And the topic is knowing your worth. Alright? The reason why I bring this up, give me probably about 2 minutes to go on a little rant. Okay. There is somebody that has inspired me to do this entire podcasting thing, point blank period and whatnot. I had this motherfucker poster on my wall. It's never been a secret. Never what you call it.
Joe Budden.
Joe fucking Budden.
Why do I think he was talking about me?
Oh, because you always, babe, I love you to death. You always, you inspire me.
No, when he said poster, I was like, I ain't know where the hell Joe
Listen, all right, but no, because at the end of the day and whatnot, I was a fan of the music. Fan, you know what I'm saying? Just a fan of you know what I mean? Just a. For some reason, I'm an asshole too. So he's kind of my type of person. I met him a couple times and whatnot. Went to some shows and shit like that. Cool cat, in my eyes. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel, it is however you feel about it. Recently, I don't know if you know. Most of the time, I think that a lot of these podcasts kind of intermingle. So some of our fans, more than likely, listen. You know, are fans of him as well. He's been exclusive with Spotify. Now, we're on Spotify as well, but we're on other platforms as well. He's been exclusive with Spotify now for the past 2 years. He came on there basically, you know, giving his rant, giving his explanation of saying, hey, look, I'm no longer being with Spotify because I felt like I was a pioneer, what I was doing, and I'm not, the contract that they're coming back with is not worthy of what I feel like I'm worth. And I agree with him wholeheartedly, 100%. Because a lot of things that he was saying had to do with not about how much money they were getting paid. They probably getting paid buku fucking money. Probably a whole lot of money to do this shit. They wanted intellectual property from every cast member of that fucking show. So that's like saying them approaching us with a deal and saying, we'll give you $40 million. But everything that R. Dot does, everything that Kelly Q does, everything that Mr. Know-It-All does, we want piece of it. We do live show, we want parts of it. We do an appearance, they want parts of it. Our overhead, you know what I'm saying, if we make out like a fat rat with the overhead, you know what I'm saying, because we doing it in a place that I built and I pay taxes on. And we make revenue from that, they want piece of it. Everything that involves our likeness, they want pieces of it.
Anytime anything our name is used in tribute to the podcast,
absolutely,
they can suck a sick baby's dick.
And see, and that's my point when it comes down to it. No matter how that was vicious right there, bro. I know. So my thing is that when you think about it,
smile.
when you think about it though, it's one of those things. It's like, yo,
hey, what the fuck?
What the fuck? But the whole thing is that the backlash.
Happening to us for years, though.
But the backlash that this man is getting.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No. But listen,
we got the point.
We understood what you meant.
We got the point.
But no, the backlash that he's getting from people that are even in the same game. Like this podcast and shit, and especially when you come from a music background. My background is in music, and I know a lot of things in music, and I've made money, not a lot, but made money selling music, and you know what I'm saying, I've done shows, and I've mingled, and you know what I mean, been around the music business for a while. And one thing that I do know is the fact that the music business side of it is not about the creator. It's not about the creative. It's not about the person that writes music. It's not about the motherfuckers that perform or record.
It's how much money they can
how
make
much
off of you.
fucking money they can make off of you. And it's the same thing, and I promise y'all wholeheartedly, I'm going to try my best to steer this situation that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Whether we get to the upper echelon or we get to the middle, to the middle of the penthouse floor, it don't matter to me. My thing is that to do things with class and decency and in order, and not to put nobody in a position into which that you feel a way about honoring a contract, or somebody making you feel like you stupid for not taking money when you know that your goal is that much greater. The lane that this man is painting, he do 2 million downloads a week. A fucking week. Easy. On podcast. Nobody else except Joe Rogan moves like that. not Charlemagne, not fucking who was the other boy, Bill Burr. Definitely who? Definitely not $1 million worth of game. And I like that podcast, but I'm not gonna do that. They don't move like that. So my thing is that when I start,
they doing what, maybe half?
Not even half of that, bro. Probably 40% of that. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about that. We talk about YouTube movement. We talk about all that shit. My thing is that our audience is too new. Our podcast is too new for me to sit up there and start talking analytics and what it means to be this way and do this and that and the third. Everything that I'm moving, that we move from, comes directly from our pockets right now because we're not on that level. But damn it, I'm gonna fucking talk about it. Because, I mean, honestly, because I'm gonna talk about it because I feel as if that all we do as black people is shit on other black people for knowing they fucking worth. Because white people got it made. They already fucking know what they think your shit is worth.
Yeah. Until you
prove them wrong.
That goes back to my statement about how we read, what we learn, and what we teach.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So if you have this big deal, so you know, if I feel like I do the same thing you do, and you're presented with this deal, and I would take it,
yeah,
I would be like, oh wow, why would you take that? Like I would, because again, like you said, know your worth. We're not raised to know that. Some of us,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not like when I went to school, my Uncle Chip told me, oh yeah, you're going for sociology, psychology. Oh, you could be a probation officer. Like you know what I mean?
Right,
like we kind of do this blue collar thing and it stops there. Be a fireman, be a police officer, nobody really knows how to negotiate a contract for no 2 million viewer a week podcast. We haven't gotten that far.
Because he hasn't even gotten that far. You know what I'm saying? That's the point.
To piggyback on that is from something that I've been thinking about for a while. We are raised to be scared. We are raised to be
scared. You better get it when it comes, because you know it probably.
Oh my God! And that's the point.
And
that's the point.
I cannot. And I just posted this on Facebook like 2 weeks ago. I cannot live with being afraid, especially at this moment in my life where technically I am not employed.
Right.
But on the same note, I was already trying to leave that job.
Right.
So I have to be like, this is happening all for a reason. This is all for a reason that this is happening, that my time has freed up.
Right.
Because it's going to allow me to do something that I want to do, that I need to do.
Right.
You know, but you can't live being scared, because if you live being scared, you will not do anything. Years ago, I had a conversation with somebody, and they told me, and this was somebody I was in a relationship at one time, and this is probably one of the reasons why we stopped being in a relationship. But he was like, you know, if I get a job to where I'm making $50,000 a year, I'm good. Yeah, no.
Been taught though. We are taught to get a job where we can survive and maybe take a trip.
Yeah,
every 5 years.
No.
Crazy. That's crazy.
And it was funny. I was filling out a job. Oh, I'm sorry, but
filling
out a job application, and I'm on the phone with one of my girlfriends, and they on the job application they ask you, you know, how much money, you know, compensation, what are you looking for?
Right.
And I'm joking, I'm talking to her. I was like, I want $100,000.
Okay.
But you have to have that $100,000 mindset.
Yep. Exactly.
The job, I put 50, but that 50 is above what I was making at my new job.
Yep.
So we're gonna start on. I do want 100,000. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But what I want right now, what I'm willing to take right now, to get me on my way to that 100,000, is that 50. Because when I see that 50, I'm already halfway there. We're not stopping.
You know what I say?
Keep going.
You know what I say? I tell them, anytime that I've ever had an interview, like especially over the past like 10 years, I tell them I want the top rate at that position. Period. I want the top rate at that position. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you can ask me why I feel as if I deserve it later on. It is what it is. I want the top rate of that position. I just think that what happens is that people, like you said before, we're so stuck in the fucking loop. For you to come, you can't come at somebody for saying that, look, man, this is what the fuck I'm worth. This is what it is, especially under a new format. It's a new fucking format. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, that's just that. It just goes to show the way that people look at shit. Because regardless of the way that we create, and that's the thing of that happens a lot with creatives. A lot of times we get out there, and there's no market. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times for knowing what our shit is worth and knowing what we're doing, the way we move and what it's worth. So what happens is we get out there and we say, all right, cool. If somebody offers something to us, and I'm gonna take whatever it's worth. Now that's fine. If you feel as if that you made a song and you say to yourself, damn, this song could be worth $1 million. Somebody came up to you, offer you, I give you $450,000, and but I need parts of all merchandise sold off this song. And the song and the shit that you do in that, what happens is that it'll total up to your song that was worth $1 million. Your song is now might have been worth $300 million, and they've made 299 off of it. So you got your $1 million, but guess what? See, look, all right, here's the funny thing, right? So
I mean, that basically goes back to what Ray Charles did.
Yeah.
By going back to the company and getting his masters.
Oh, absolutely.
That set a whole precedent.
There's a lot of musicians that do that.
Because when you own your music, when you own your image, when you own the words that come out of your mouth,
right,
and are placed in different places, that money comes to you.
Absolutely.
That is your money.
Absolutely.
Why should anybody else see this beautiful face of mine and get paid off of it?
Right.
If I'm not getting paid off of it.
There you go. Absolutely. And that's what the whole thing. He says.
That's what Prince did.
He was saying something that was.
For the tales tonight.
Oh, all right, cool. He says something that was so crazy, that was so fly. He said, listen. They said, well, why didn't you talk about this when you were originally negotiating? He said, no, this was 2 years ago. Spotify didn't have one single podcast on fucking Spotify 2 years ago. When
Who knew this was going to blow up like
2 weeks after they found out that the Joe Budden podcast was the biggest thing that had ever hit Spotify, they started buying up podcast space. And then there's a flood. He is the reason why places like Anchor are able to exist in order to get us on these platforms. Ain't that a bitch? And you mean to tell me that I'm not worth that? Shout out Joe Budden, definitely. But you mean to tell me that I'm not worth that? That is fucked up.
Right.
And then what happens is that the other people that are in the market, you give them the fucking bag. Joe Rogan is podcast God. If Joe Budden is Godfather, he's God. Joe Rogan is God. Joe Rogan does 15 million views a week. So
I'm gonna use this analogy.
Right.
We're talking about Joe Rogan and Joe Budden. I'm gonna put this analogy where this couple, interracial couple, put their home on the market.
Oh shit.
Black lady,
right.
white man.
Right.
Somebody came to appraise the home, because when you're selling your home, you get it appraised.
Right.
Somebody came in, seen them to appraise the home.
Right.
So she said, let me try this without me.
30%.
$47,000 more this man got for being Caucasian and having the appraiser come with just him and not his wife.
I mean, and when I say they took down the pictures in the house,
$47,000 more for their home when his wife was not a part of this appraisal.
And now they're suing.
Like I had made a joke. I had said to Keith earlier. I said, we have some relatives that are not minorities. I said, when we sell this house, who do you think is going to be at this door when these people come and see this house?
I'm calling them. Hey, why don't you come over and show our house for us?
I'm like, because it is a shame that our work, our contributions. This has been over thousands and thousands. Our work and our contributions are valueless. I sit back and wonder in different positions how many times that I've accepted less. There's been times where I've had jobs where I was going in with one figure, they came in extremely higher, and I was gracious and I took it. But at the same time, I asked myself, I pondered on it for like a month after I got one of my jobs, and I said, dag, if they came in at this, then I wonder if I should have asked for that. Because they came over well higher than what I was expecting, and I just took it. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But then after I took it, I was like, dang, well, what would happen if did they offer me the minimum? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And am I making what people who don't look like me make? I wondered out. I wondered out.
Am I making what a white woman would make?
I went through that.
White man would make?
What was you about to say, bro?
I went through that at KFC in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Right.
Wearing that, I was there, and they had me. Well, you know me, I'm a workaholic. Whenever I get to a job, I work. I love working. So I'm the one to call. I live maybe 5 minutes away from the job. I'm the one to call. Somebody don't show up for a shift, need somebody to cover clothes, just that, nothing. I'm supposed to go to training for a shift manager. So another manager from another store, baby mama, needs a job. So she comes to our store. Immediately goes in training for a shift manager. All of a sudden, all my overtime hours starting to become Casper hours. Disappearing.
Wow.
And so I'm disgruntled. Honestly, that's part of the reason why I ended up quitting, between that and the GM saying the wrong thing the wrong day to me, because it was like, you know, I put this work in, you know, I brought other people here who are still working here, you know, putting work in, so we've contributed, you know, and the GM, I knew our son was a senior my freshman year, you know what I mean, so we went to high school together, so I knew him, you know, but I'm like, it was really a matter of, I'm getting the shaft. You know, you still want me around.
You're getting the shaft.
You know, yeah, double pause.
Right.
You still want me around.
So mature, that's what I got.
You still want me to act like, you know, I'm running the store like I'm a manager.
Right.
But you're delaying putting me in training because you brought another one of you in.
Yeah.
And then she said some smart ass shit like a couple days before my birthday. I was ready to go away for a birthday break, vacation, and out there putting the money on the phone with my lady, and she like, well, did it occur to you while you was out here to sweep the lot? Bitch, you don't pay me to sweep the lot.
Have I ever swept the lot?
No, I mean I'll do it sometimes if I'm out there and it's slow, but we also got a lobby guy.
Yeah.
I'm a drive-through guy. I run the drive-through. You know what I mean? And you know why I came out here. You know exactly what I came out here for.
Right.
You just trying to be smart.
Yeah.
And then you follow me back. Oh, excuse me. Did you heard exactly what I said?
Right.
Hey, I've been waiting for a raise for 6 months. That's one. You know what I mean? And part of this raise was supposed to be the promotion.
Right.
And now you've delayed that longer for someone else. And you know, she said
I've been hired at a job for a year and a half and been underpaid the entire time. I came in making less than what I was supposed to make when I came in. New people were hired after me. I found out and then the general manager had quit in the midst of that. I guess he was supposed to adjust it and never did. But I was getting paid. It wasn't substantial, but it was to the point like, nigga, what? It was over $2.5 a year less than what I was supposed to be getting paid. And I looked at these motherfuckers, I said, oh, so nobody, I said, this is a Fortune 500 fucking company. Nobody over at this motherfucker thought to tell me that I should be getting paid more? Come on.
And I think
no, they always say you don't always not inquire.
And that's another
about their pay.
That's another thing that Joe Budden was talking about. When you ask fucking questions, when you ask questions and you inquire about things, they're looking at you like you got 6 heads. Because, you know what I'm saying, my whole thing is that being grateful is, I think it's one of them things that a lot of times people internalize that and turn it into weakness. They think that, oh, you should be grateful to even be here. And I'm telling y'all now, knowing a part of your worth is saying fuck that. It's saying fuck that. You know what I'm saying? If whatever they can top you, fuck that. Like if they can give you the top notch of what they supposed to give you because you giving them the top notch work, then that's what the fuck is supposed to happen.
It's like you know, shout out to Michael Jackson. His birthday, I think, was yesterday or tomorrow. But it's like Joe Jackson, when they went to that talent show and he knew they should have won and they came in second and they won a TV and the kids, Jackson 5, Dad, we getting this TV. F that TV. We good. We better than this. Nah, we ain't deserve second.
Yeah.
Left the TV right there.
Yep.
I took the TV.
No,
but I get
that TV.
But it was principles about
it. It's the principle about the situation.
He had to lay a foundation of
definitely
know your work.
He laid a bunch of foundations. I don't know.
A lot of ass
Every foundation wasn't a good foundation.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But I mean, like one of the situations at my job where I'm not gonna say I'm happy I'm on my little break or whatever, like, this is the first break I done had in 44 years, for real, for real. After I got my MBA.
That's because you was first break in 44 years though?
No, like seriously, I've been in.
Don't even working.
I know, I know.
I've been in
umbilical cord.
My mom,
back in 1916.
My mom had me like
when everything began.
As soon as she had me, I was out there picking cotton.
I was in like preschool at 2 years old, and I went to school straight through, and I went to college straight through.
Right.
And then while I was in college, I was working. So
okay, so if you count school, I can get that.
Okay,
right. That's what I'm talking about. Like between school,
right.
School
Always be
and
on the
actually
schedule,
work.
always having to do something.
Always having to do something.
Yeah, talk about the time you was training for the Kumite and shit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit. Go ahead.
But knowing your worth is like, I knew how much work I was doing.
Right.
And you're still paying me hourly. And you're not giving me any help.
Right.
And most of my report cards growing up have always said, Kelly doesn't know when to ask for help. And that comes from being the only child, because I'm used to doing every damn thing by myself.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
So I actually got to a point where I made a whole damn PowerPoint presentation on why I need an assistant. Because you want all this work done.
Right.
From beginning to end. But you also want me to be on the floor.
Right.
You also want me to work these meetings.
Right.
But you want me to be at my desk doing this work.
Which also brings me to.
But wait a minute, hold it. They don't hire an assistant.
Right.
Well, if you did this and you stayed off your phone.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Now you clocking my free time.
Right. You're clocking my shit at lunch.
Right.
Or you don't know that some messages are not coming through my Outlook, and I told them to send it to my email so that I can send it to myself to get it. Or I'm listening to music because I don't want to hear all y'all fucking conversations.
Right.
They don't hire an assistant, but they created a position for an accountant.
Oh yeah.
And then put her in my office. So the office that I had by myself for 5 years, I now have to share with the accounting person.
Oh, y'all company buddies.
Which brings me to the best advice that my mother ever gave me, God rest her soul.
Amen.
Right before my 18th birthday, going off to college, she said, you are black and you are a woman. So anything you want, you are going to have to work twice as hard for. Which was echoed by a non-black person to me in a job interview. This woman was of
Asian
descent. And she said to me in a broken English kind of way, because it was her company, she started it from the ground up, that I was interviewing for. My last interview was with her. I had 3. She said to me, anything you see a white woman walking for, you better run. CEO, owner, but this is her. You're telling me this in your company. You're a minority in this country. You wasn't even born. You're telling me as another minority that you're and now when I think back on it, at the time, not saying anything because I wanted to leave the place where I was at. And remember, I wasn't getting any job. This was the one job interview that I was about to get after I got my master's. So I went there, and everything, every meeting monthly was ran like you felt like you was on a plantation, except not a Caucasian man, an Asian woman. It was, they would tell you who left, the reasons why they left. If somebody came back, you should be glad we accepted you back. You left like the prodigal son, and now you wanted to come. Like it, the entire amount of time I spent there, you didn't feel like you were working for another minority who might have had some similar struggles, or no, you felt like you were working for somebody who was worse than who you've been taught all your life as your oppressor.
Oh yeah, they don't play with it. But
you
see, they don't.
Like there was no coof, there was no trank, there was no it was. So I said to myself, my mom, good thing being that my mom said it to me first, I understood what she was saying. But now when I look at it, Benny, how am I sitting here with you getting this advice from you about how you run your shit?
Because they're basically saying
she's letting you know what they expect coming.
Not only what they expect, but they prefer.
True.
But they prefer. They would rather you.
People
Right.
working there. And then she didn't say white man. She said a white
woman. Because she would have rather Shannon Poe Saunders to have been a white woman that walked into her office.
Well, she thought I was Indian.
See?
She said,
That's what I'm saying.
Pronouncing my last name Poe or something.
Right.
She was like, well, what is this Indian? Is this? I said, well, yeah, it has some roots. You know what I mean? Something like that. I might have said. I'm not sure. I'll research it. I can't remember what I told her. But she said it to me like, because I don't, my name is Shannon, and it's Shannon P. Saunders on my resume. So sometimes you don't expect me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you don't expect it.
Shit, fucking Saunders. Come on, don't nobody know I'm black till you see me. My name is Keith Saunders. Like, are you kidding me? I might be a British dude. Like, that's what they looking at me like. Yeah, I'm saying it's a British last name.
I always feel like when they see my name, they're expecting some redhead Irish girl to come in.
Oh, absolutely. Kelly Quinton. Oh, absolutely.
My father was Joseph.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I think they like society, and Kelly, to your point,
you can't forget Jebediah.
The black woman, like we're under so much pressure, so much strain, so much, and I'm not taking away from our brothers or anything like that, but we're like you said, that not asking for help, that expected to do it because that's how I was raised.
Beautiful. You actually segued this situation yourself. Right into what next thing I wanted to talk about. Black people versus black people. Ooh. Are we each other's worst enemy?
Talk about my platform. Go ahead.
You want to talk about the platform? Oh Lord!
Oh my God, I do, because I think it's so important.
Babe, this is why me and you don't have a podcast, because it'll be exactly. Be your podcast featuring anybody that you would like to get in your fucking word in edgewise. That's what it is.
I'm not gonna say that for 3 minutes if I could just talk about my platform theory.
All right. Timer on. I swear to God.
I'm about to put a timer on her ass.
Okay, so I'll be quick. Black people versus black people. There's this movie. Keith watches all these. Mr. Know-It-All watches all these movies that he usually watches without me, but that's a part of our marriage. I'm not even get into that. But this one he chose to watch with me. It was called The Platform. He said, I want to watch this movie. So the basis of the movie had nothing to do with black people, but when everything started happening with George Floyd and everything, I said, oh my God, this is perfect. This is what we are. So The Platform. There's this guy, he volunteers for this experiment. It's called The Platform. What happens is, there's a platform that after watching the movie, you'll realize that it's hundreds of levels. It starts at level 1.
It's a prison. Tell them it's a prison.
Okay, it's a prison.
Oh, is this the movie you was talking about?
Yeah, they drop a large table of food down to the first platform that gets is 1. That platform, that table has to make it all the way down to, let's say, level 400. What do you think happens if and then every month you wake up, you're on a different level. The higher you are, the lower your number, the more you eat. The higher your number, if you're on 300 now, what do you think that table looks like by the time they get to you?
There's nothing on it.
Nothing on it.
Right.
So if you wake up at level 1 through 20, you probably eating. If you wake up anywhere from 20 under, you're starving. Like they're killing their roommates, eating them. They're doing like this one lady had a dog. They ate the dog.
It's on Netflix.
And I said, I feel like this is us. I feel like we're on a platform. If you happen to make it out and you're level 1 through 20, so for me and my family, I consider us to be somewhere between 1 and 30. We're eating, we're doing good, we're able to take trips, we're able to provide. There's people on that level 300 that don't get anything. Generational poverty, sexual abuse, can't read, mother didn't get the GED, single families, not, I work, but I work at Kmart because I got 5 kids and I don't really I can't pay for daycare. There's some people who are legit living on level 100 and below who don't have. Those people on those levels do whatever it takes to survive. So the movie happened like this. When the guy, he woke up on a level above him and his roommate decided to get on the platform, and every time it dropped, tell everybody to only take what they needed so that they can feed all the levels. They was like killing people. Only take what you need. Only take what you need. Because guess what? If we only took what we needed on each level, it would help everybody out. But people wasn't convinced. Exactly. People wasn't convinced. So as soon as I traded on level 1, you eating all the crab legs, you eating everything, you taking rent because you don't care about nobody at the bottom. I said, I feel like that's what that is. Watch the movie, you'll get what I'm saying. It's a symbolism. It's just that of course I'm killing my brother. Of course I'm robbing this grandma. Of course I'm shooting up and getting, shooting people and getting life. Because I have nothing. I was born with nothing, and I wasn't taught how to keep or get anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm doing what I seen my uncle do to get money. I'm doing what I seen my brother do to get money.
Right.
Well, my mom's a hairstylist. Now I'm braiding hair in my house, but I also gotta look the part, so I can't look poor. Even though I'm in a project, I gotta get Gucci. I gotta buy a Mercedes that is, hundreds of years old. I gotta do everything to look like I'm not on platform 300 when I really am.
Right.
So I don't even, you know what I mean? So we don't have the skills. We don't always have the leaders, and we stay on this platform waiting for somebody else to feed us. And then again, the people who get to be on platform 1 through 20, we protect that. And we keep that. We don't share it. We don't give it.
Because they're afraid that somebody's going to try to take it away from them. And I think that's what the whole issue of it is. That's the reason why I say black people versus black people, because I'm looking at it like, we are really, really threatened by even the upcomings of another. And you know what it is? And one of the reasons why I love my city, I just hate every nigga in it. It's just like it gets on my nerves so bad.
Chris
Philadelphia
says it best.
I love black people, but boy, I hate niggas. I mean,
5-4 figure, boy, do I hate them.
But the thing about it is that our city, the way that we move or whatnot, everything, there's that situation even comes from notoriety and the notable names in the city. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a huge question, and I really want y'all to think about this seriously. Name the last rapper that came out of Philly that put another rapper on that had the same amount of success as the rapper that got put on by somebody that wasn't from Philly.
Beanie Siegel and
Beanie Siegel got put on by Jay-Z. Name me another.
No, but he put on
he brought the rest of them into the fold.
Yeah,
he brought them into the fold.
He brought them to the fold.
And none of them had the same success.
Right. Not Chris Lee, not Freeway, not no. Beanie had the success.
Like Beanie is known in Philly.
Right. Look like.
But I think rap is also subjective, because just because I bring you in don't mean you're gonna be as popular.
No. Let's redo this though. Let me keep going with my theory, because I start to look at it, because it doesn't have a lot to do with your talent level or a lot of times the shit that you put forth, because it's like you said, it's subjective. Just not all the corny ass rappers that we believe. Like, how the fuck is this dude who they holding up as great? He's trash, but at the end of the day, it's subjective. People dig what they dig. At the end of the day, Beanie was hot to us, and then people listen to his music because Jay-Z co-signed him. But Beanie and Memphis Bleek was always on the same level, but I think that Beanie's a way better rapper than Memphis Bleek.
Hell yeah.
So my thing is that, but it had to do with who co-signed him. Freeway was co-signed by Jay-Z, slightly. Like to the point where it's like, okay, you would see him with Jay, he would do songs with Jay, but we already have a Philly rapper that's being co-signed by Jay. So therefore, you become the second level. What about Meek Mill? Meek Mill, most successful rapper, most successful Philly rapper since Will Smith.
So I have an answer for you. Because a lot of times, even take it down to my job at Walmart. If I get my little cousin, I got a cousin Daddy, if I get my little cousin Daddy a job,
right?
You know what I mean? And he come in here and act like an ass, what do I look like?
But you know what? That's so not my, my point. Right.
But I'm speaking to your point. I said that's why, because we're, you know what I mean? But
that shit's the same way everywhere.
Some of us have no problem helping people out.
I want to help them out, but I think
but some of us are like, listen, I can't bring you over here because I already know how you act. I know you're probably not gonna work out. You don't really, you know what I mean? And there was a well, we didn't talk about Jay-Z.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. The reason why I'm saying is, no. The reason why I'm bringing this point up is because I'm saying that this is the reason. It's because I want you to do well, but I don't want you to do better than me. That's it. That is it.
Sometimes the market, let me say something, and there's sometimes where the market is, so my sister has a business. My sister started her business from the ground up. Did nobody help her? Right. Shout out to Count Healing Healthcare. They did the research, figured out what it needed to open a home care agency. There are so many people who are reaching out to them saying, hey, tell us how to do this. This is Pittsburgh. This is an extremely small city.
Right.
I do not, and our business is just getting off the ground. They just got clientele. They're getting employees now. Their stuff, I've just started this race. If I give the game to 10 more y'all in this extremely small city, you know what I mean? Of course, what do you think is going on?
And everybody expect you to give them the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
I can't
That's,
get
that's the hookup. That's the hookup effect.
It's the sad thing. This is the sad thing about us is just as soon as we seem to be stepping up, not even getting on to the next step, but stepping up, we'll have people who eyes will perk up.
Yeah,
now they tuned in.
Right.
Because it's, well, how you getting up there?
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? Right. But you know what? I don't have a problem with telling niggas how to do shit, though.
No, listen.
Right.
Listen. I don't completely have a problem with telling niggas how to do shit.
Right.
But the problem is, I can't tell you every goddamn thing.
Right. And that's the point.
The old saying goes, give a man a fish, feed him for a day.
Teach him how to fish.
Teach him how to fish.
Yep.
Feed him for life.
And time is also money. So if it took me 18 months to build this business, what do you like?
As soon as I open up, I got
and then I just opened up. I'm getting my employees together. I'm getting my residents to home health.
But you know what?
So I can't give all 10 of y'all this game.
I agree with that.
Now I've created 10 competitors.
But you know what? This is my thing. This is my thing. And one thing I'm gonna say, we're gonna move.
Charge people. That's a different thing.
We're gonna move on to the top 5 after this. But I do want to say this. One thing that I can say is that we've been in this instance before Kelly even came aboard. We got mutual homies or whatnot that we know from social media. So a homie was like, "Yo, I heard what's going on with the podcast. I'm trying to start one." He was like, "Oh, I already know, you know what I'm saying? He'll let you know how to do it." I don't have a problem with telling nobody. So then when I gave a rundown of what it takes, oh damn, I didn't know it was that much. I didn't know you had to do all that. I ain't know you had to buy this. I ain't know this. But see, that's the fucking point.
They just are trying to hop on the wave.
Right. They're trying to get on the wave. Right. They see you doing something and they're like, well, I know them. I want to be a part of this situation.
Well, what that is he can do it.
Right.
I can do it.
Right.
And that's how we got the president that we have now. That's how we got the president we have now.
Agent Orange.
Because he said.
Right.
And he didn't have to say it out loud at all. If that black man, not that qualified black man,
right,
not that black man that was a senator, not that black man that was a grassroots with that tan suit. Yes.
What the fuck is going on here?
They're cooning over Barack, like it's ridiculous.
But don't you push a button.
Upstanding gentleman.
Upstanding gentleman. Yes. Okay, but out of all those qualifications that Barack Obama had,
right,
all he said in his head was, if that black man, not that qualified black man, not that educated black man, not that black man that has a government background, but if that black man could be president, then so can I.
But you know what, and I understand exactly what you mean. I think that the issue that I have, and bringing it back to what I was talking about before, the issue that we have is the versus. It's not about the uplifting, like you said. If you teach him how to fish, rather than, because what I'm saying is that, especially when we talk about this music shit, even if I'm talking about the podcast shit, if I say to you, hey, look, I can only give you what I did. This is what I did. But you have to be willing to take those steps. I can't give you all that game to say this what it is.
Field. So for example,
it is.
To get a license, you have to do 3,500 hours of service over, like in the human services field.
Right.
You have to have half of them have to be under the license that you're trying to get in mental health, and then the other half can be of another discipline. But you need licensed people to do this.
Okay.
So that means if for every 40 hours you work, you have to sit down with a person like me and talk to them about your cases.
Right.
I have so many friends who so I paid somebody, right? So I paid this lady I'm an undisclosed amount of money every week to sit down for 2 hours and talk to me.
Right,
but now that I have a license, I'm a hot commodity. Because people, as long as you take the test, you can get somebody to vouch for you. You can sit down with them. You can, I'll leave that off the air. But I'm a hot commodity because I have a license. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's say if you wanted to be licensed, it could be, I know Shannon got a license. She'll sign my papers. So it's
work
so
for Shannon.
exactly. And then people get offended when you say, "Hey, my time is money. I'll do your hours." But let me tell you something. I'm charging $100 an hour for supervision.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
Right. Like people don't want to do that.
You don't understand the work.
I know you and you know me.
You don't understand the work.
The biggest
I
point,
put in.
exactly, the point that you put in, and the problem too much with too many colored folks is they don't want to put the fucking work in. They just want the result.
Absolutely.
I'm like, man, I need to pay this lady. And
this goes back to the beginning of this show, today's show.
Right.
Where you see the finish line. You can't jump to the finish line.
You can't.
You have to take the finish line step by step.
Yeah.
You get to step 1, but there's something that you got to do to get to step 2.
Yeah.
Something that you got to do to get to step 3.
And we're not taught that.
We're not.
Right.
We're not.
We're not taught patience. It took me 5 years to get my master's degree. Had a baby in the middle of and everything. But you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to finish because that's how I was raised.
Right.
I was talking to my sister about it the other day. I was the smart one. Everybody poured into me. If you get 4 A's, Shannon, I'll get you an MCM bag. You know what I mean? My aunt sent them, "Oh, you're the smart one. Oh, you're going to..." So there was never a question from the time I was to a grasshopper that I wasn't going to be something, because they bred that in me.
Right.
We don't do that to our kids. You know what I mean? We don't problem solve with our kids. We punish. We take away. We don't sit back and think about. You know what I mean? Like my mom had the saying, "Do as I say, not as I do." And
they all did.
So did mine.
All has that.
They all did.
Because I've seen working in family-based programs, I've seen the worst of the worst. I'm an extremely diplomatic parent. Each stage my son raises, I give my son respect. I let my son have his say. I try to do this, you know what I mean? Okay, let me listen. Let me see what's going on. Let me see where you coming. Like, I try to be very diplomatic because I have to also teach you life skills. I'm a beat you.
If you're a podcast listener, we are the two different parents. We are the good cop, bad cop.
I want to say
Lamar's song out. It's called "I'll Beat Your Ass." I'll beat you. Like, we've been so ingrained. You know what I mean? That punishment works. That sometimes we take, like, I'm telling you, we don't always sow the right seeds as parents.
Listen,
I'm not saying all of us.
Listen, y'all 17-year-old niece, she was about to get chopped in the neck. Understand? She about to, one gets, and the 9-year-old, she about to get plucked in the door. Alright?
I want to say about
sometimes the shit is needed. Go ahead.
We're two different parenting styles.
Right.
Because it's just a beautiful thing to witness.
Right.
Because there is a mother and a father in a home. And I come from a home where there was a mother and a father in the home. And sometimes she had to kick him out. But he always came back. She always let him back in. And even though he may not have been living in my house, the important thing about my dad was he was active. Right. So he could have been living all the way on the other side of the city. If I called, he was there.
Right.
So it's just about, and my dad was Shannon, basically. Right. So my dad was, at every age was.
Your girl.
Yeah. At every age I was, that's where he met me. So when I was 21, he spoke to me as I was 21. When I was 31, he spoke to me at 31.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's different with my mom, who I think she still thinks I'm 16. But anyway, it's just, that different, way.
Right.
And I was raised by my mother. I wasn't raised by my father at all. My dad would make an appearance, but I wasn't raised by him at all. I was raised by my mother. And if I'm being perfectly honest, my mother raised me to be a survivor and to take care of myself and to take care of not our children, my children.
Right.
My mother taught me. My mother, it was the best lesson in life, but it was the worst lesson in life when it came to marriage. Oh my goodness, it was the worst. So I think that we get certain things from our parents, and you know, we're either exactly like them or we're completely different, and sometimes we're somewhere in between.
We talked about that before. You can't
escape your parents.
Can't escape your parents. And listen, I'm gonna go ahead and give us an applaud on that. That was very, very interesting conversation. But without further ado,
you got your top 5? If you can, you can hear.
Top 5.
Lucky she got her top 5.
5 random TV shows.
I forgot something.
You'll see when we do ours. Get a piece of paper.
I'm a freestyle.
Despite what you may think. Yo, y'all gotta get up on the Rough Rider Chronicles. It was so good.
I'm part of it.
It was so good.
I have not watched it yet.
I have not started No Limit. I have them recorded. I haven't started No Limit.
I know X got emotional. I seen part of that.
X
part of that episode. No. When you saw when his mom left in the group home and shit.
Oh shit, yeah, they took it back.
Yeah.
Kelly Q, what is the top 5 that you are offering up today?
The top 5. Your top 5 random ass TV shows that you watch.
Random ass TV shows.
So not anything that, you know, your Monday through Friday lineup.
Okay.
Your ABC, NBC, CBS shows. Shows that might come on USA.
Not the initial shows, not
right,
the
or shows you might watch on a Saturday afternoon. Like, they're new shows.
Who the fuck watch TV on a Saturday afternoon?
Well, when you're a teenager, you really might not have anywhere to go.
No goddamn TV show.
Right.
Saturday afternoon.
Well, right about now they don't have them, but back in the 90s, we had shows
after City High went off, that was it.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it was like City High, then it would be like Animal Planet shit.
I'm talking about like maybe 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. I had cable.
I ain't have cable. Don't do that.
I was talking
Oh, you had cable?
I did have cable. Actually, we had cable.
See, you was privileged.
I was not.
Some of us ain't have a daddy or cable.
I had daddy and cable.
I ain't had either one of them. I ain't had no daddy or cable.
I had no daddy or no motherfucking cable. It was Saturday afternoons was lonely than the motherfucker. After Muppet Babies was over, it was done.
Yeah. I was out in the streets after that. I ain't want.
God damn.
That cartoons and stuff on Saturday afternoon.
I am pissed.
When the Saturday morning cartoons rolled over to the afternoon, it was like, all right, time to roll outside. Unless it was a rainy day. You put movies on.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
the girls in my family went outside and played too.
And you had cable. You watched this Comedy Central and shit. You was watching Comedy Central on Saturday afternoon.
I'm sorry. I had daddy in the house and I like to hang out with him.
Yeah, I just went to the movies. That's what I used to do. I used to go to the movies because it wasn't on no TV.
Yeah, cable.
I had 5 TV shows and I forgot I had a honorable mention.
You stay with the honorable mention. Go ahead.
So number 6 is a show that some people may have heard of. I don't think y'all two might have ever heard of it, but it's called Greatest American Hero.
I heard of it. I never just watched it.
Oh no, that was mine.
Oh, that's the black and white joint with Jack Palance. Came out in like 62. All right. Oh, they ain't that. That was it.
No. Greatest American Hero.
What is?
He was a teacher. It came on Saturday afternoon. And he was a teacher, and he got hit with something. Somehow he became a superhero, but he couldn't fly.
Oh,
every time he would fly, when he come in for land, he crashed.
I thought, could he fly or he just couldn't land?
That's all. He couldn't land, but it was always.
It was shaky. How did they do the flying? Was he just like laid down with clouds behind him and shit?
This was like around the time like Wonder Woman was on and all that good stuff.
Oh,
like by the time I caught it, it was really like beginning reruns.
Was it supposed to be serious or was it like a comedy?
No, it was like, family fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What is it called again?
Greatest American Hero.
Oh, my YouTube that.
It's hilarious.
Crazy.
I went to the store and the theme song from the show was on, and I called my best friend who has the same television musical taste as me, And I started singing the lyrics. She's like, where are you hearing this at? I was like, I'm in the store and it's playing it. And she's singing on the other line with me because that's my sister.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
And she loves it.
I'm starting to believe that you're a time traveler. I just don't know nobody that remember none of this shit. Go ahead. What's your number 5? Go ahead.
Highlander.
That was my shit. Fuck did you talk about? What? Saturday afternoon? That was that a random show?
Yeah.
But
it came on Saturday.
It was Saturday. It was a Saturday joint. Yeah.
Highlander was
and
one.
It came on like Channel 17 or something.
Yeah, it was on 17. It was 17.
And it was one of the first movies. One of the first shows to ever have the movie actor in the show, in the series.
Like eventually, like he would Christopher Lambert. He would make pop up.
Actually, it's Christopher Lambert. He was French.
Once again,
was he related to Bill?
Once in the horse you rode in on. But like Saturday afternoon, Highlander come on.
Right.
My dad and I are not even sitting on the couch. We're laying on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I am immortal. That's my shit.
I have inside me blood of kings.
That nigga never lost.
No rival.
Yo, it was
no
one.
man can be my equal.
It was one dude that was like damn. You gonna sing the whole theme song, huh?
Like,
there's one dude. He was like a ninja. He was nasty with it. He had 2 swords.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna kill him, and he beat him. I was like, this is bullshit. I said that dude would have beat the shit out of Christopher Lambert.
Right, but you know what's
that was some bullshit.
You know, but he wasn't Christopher Lambert. He was the next guy underneath.
Christopher Lambert played Raiden in a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yes.
Yeah, just because he played Highlander. But go ahead. What's number 4?
So number 4 is a show that was on USA.
Right.
Called Burn Notice.
Oh yeah.
I watched that a few
I'm
times.
binge watching it now.
Yeah.
Like, cause I used to catch it, but I never was able to, watch it all the way through. So now I'm like on season 3.
Yeah.
That's what I watch when I'm at the gym.
Okay.
So that's my hour on the treadmill watching Burn Notice.
Kelly be watching all types of fucking Netflix and whatnot. I ran into her at the gym the other day. I'm like, what the hell you doing? You just watching TV
I was
and
watching
shit.
Sleepy Hollow.
The movie?
TV show.
Oh, I heard the TV show was better than that movie was trash. With Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp made some ass movies. But people just keep going to see him. I don't know. But go ahead. What's number 3?
Number 3 is a show that came on TBS called Andrew Tribeca.
I wanted to watch that. I just didn't know if I would get into it. Was it funny? It was
Andrew Tribeca is like Airplane. That kind of comedy.
Okay.
I have not seen Airplane in at least 20 years.
What you call it? Come on. I can't even think of his goddamn name.
Who?
Leslie. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So it's
Naked Gun. Yeah.
So Andrew Tribeca is on that level because she'll, it'll be stuff that has like a double entendre.
Right.
Or people like the names that people have in it, and you're like, I don't believe it. So it's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to. All right, I'm gonna watch.
I think it's on Hulu if anybody has Hulu. I think it has.
I got Fire Stick. I can make that happen.
Help me.
Number 2.
Number 2 is a British show called Father Brown Mysteries. So I love mysteries.
The goddamn time traveler. That's what he got.
No, this shit is on now. This is not old.
This was the play that Abe Lincoln went and watched. It wasn't how Kelly was around.
On now. But I love stuff like
Uncle Jebediah told them a story.
First one, anyway.
Go ahead.
But Murder, She Wrote. So it's something like that. So Father Brown is
this is the English version.
Basically.
You gotta get out.
Yo, Shannon said it.
I don't even know the list.
Kelly be knowing some shit. You be like, what the fuck? Like, what is this?
Brown Mysteries. The title alone will put you down.
Exactly.
It sounds like a come on dude got like a long pipe and like one of them coats and
that's
like today.
Father Brown Mysteries sound like the show that came on after MASH. You know what I'm saying? You be like, oh my god, I can't watch another minute of this shit. All right, what's
sounds like the generic version of Sherlock Holmes.
It's a great dog.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop.
Oh man. What's your number 1?
So a lot of shots for that one.
It's my favorite USA show. Psych.
I've heard of Psych.
Oh, the movie just came out.
Yeah. I've seen it.
What is it called? Psych 2, Electric Boogaloo or some shit like that?
Psych 2.
No, that's what it was called. It was something like
Psych
that.
2, Lassie Come Home.
See, it was still something
Did you
goofy.
say
It was still-
Lassie?
It was all right, but it was Lassie come home. I mean, goddamn,
Well,
it was
the
something goofy.
One of the detectives in the show, his name is Lassiter.
Oh,
And they fuck with him and call him Lassie.
I'm about to say, didn't Lassie pass?
Which one?
1, 2, and 3.
Oh man! All right, so Shannon, we got Shannon. Our guest has a top 5. Can you?
I didn't realize I was supposed to put them in chronological order.
You ain't got to. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, well I'll start. I used to like when I was a younger teenager, I believe. Hey Arnold, that was my show. I realize now that he lived in a boarding home, and now my therapeutic brain would go to the fact that he lived with his grandparents and about his mom. But anyway, Hey Arnold was my show. I love that show. It was so diverse.
Football head. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then
Number 4.
I guess I would go to like 90. So I have 2 of these for 2 and 3. So 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 days, that was my show this quarantine. And 90 Day Fiance is my third, the other way. Where they go
I just got so confused.
We talk about
so 90 Day Fiance is a show where it's about people who get loved one, who get spouses from other countries. So usually the show is you have a spouse,
Like Donald Trump.
They come to America and you have 90 days on this K-9 visa or something like that to marry them, or they have to go back to the country. So before the 90 days was showing before that process. People going out to meet them. People, you know what I mean? Before while they're in the dating process trying to figure out if they want to apply for that K-9-1 visa or whatever it's called. So you got to watch the dating stories of some of these people going over to like Australia and Guam and like different places to meet these people they met online, who to see if they want to date and if they want to marry them. Or Russia,
just to realize they didn't know him or like him when he finally got there. That's
or
the
like
fucking.
it was crazy.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it is.
So that's before the 90 days. 90 Day Fiance, the other way is when people from America are going to these other countries to meet their loved one to live in that country. So there's a girl from Miami who was a rapper down there or something. She went to go to Jordan to live with an Islamic male. So picture that, okay? Then there was a gay couple. The guy, he came from America and went to Mexico to live with his person whose family hadn't yet even accepted the fact that he's gay, and in Mexico it's like a different thing being gay than here in America. So those are my 2 shows for 2 and 3. Anything that comes on TLC.
We was going backwards, but go ahead. These are your last 2, so 2 and 1. But go ahead.
So Diners, Driving and Dives with Guy Fieri.
She gonna freaking me. That damn. That damn. I ain't gonna hold. Give me some food.
Hungriest fucking show in the
there's
world,
nothing
bro.
on, you could just throw on that, like throw on a Food Network.
She just be on that damn channel almost. If it ain't on CSI and Law and Order, she watching either Guy or what? Chef. What is his name? Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Bobby. Yeah.
So, and then my ultimate one that I love, okay, and it's several shows, but it's still, they're in the same genre.
Yeah, tell them crazy shit.
Lockup Raw, Snapped, First 48, Love After Lockup, Forensic Files, Who Killed.
Why do women like these fucking shows about murdering their fucking husbands?
Is mad. Like anything that's documentary around murder and
exactly.
Like my podcast, The Vanished. I listen to that when I go on my walks. Like people who are missing. Like I'm just so into stuff. Like
why? That's what I'm saying. Like the hold up. So let me get this straight. Okay, so it starts off with Snapped, then it goes to Forensic Files, right? Then it goes to fucking Lockup Raw. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, hold on.
Lockup Raw.
Lockup. That's just.
They go to so there's Lockup and there's Lockup Raw. They go to jail and they interview people who have time spent about like their day to day. They review their charges and they tell you what they did and how they got locked up. Then they talk about
Lockup Raw is hosted by the Booty Warrior. A man's butt.
So it's just stories about people in jail. They'll talk about, what they do in their, how they make, the girls will show you how they do their makeup with pencils and pens, and they'll talk about how they how they take Kool-Aid to make eyeliner. So it's just a story where they feature people who are in jail. Like I'm a people watcher, so anything I'm just very interested in people.
And if they're in jail, is the better. All right, and that was
it.
So that was great. Thank you very much. You got 5.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh man. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck just
So
happened.
something happened to me. You know who the fuck did it?
I just said beware.
Go ahead.
Shit.
Shit. That just threw my whole concept.
Fuck it, man. If you ain't got
You know
that,
what? I'm gonna go with number 5.
Go ahead.
And this is actually being recycled from off another list like several weeks ago.
Right.
Dinosaurs.
That was my shit.
Not the mama.
That
Not
was
the
my
mama.
shit. That wasn't random.
really a
That wasn't
random
random. That wasn't random. That was on
It was-
TGIF though. But I'll accept it.
It
I'll
didn't last
accept
long.
Not accept it. What's
It was like 5 years.
No,
2 seasons.
two.
I think.
Remember when that was the saddest fucking ending of a show ever.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was the fucking comet was headed towards Earth and it was like
Oh, it's the Big Boom.
The Big Bang, and she was like, what's going to happen to us?
Because dinosaurs don't live.
Oh, that's understandable, but you had the
And
last.
they don't really talk and they don't have families.
All right, but the last words
They
came from
did
the.
have families.
Dinosaurs are packs. They're not
Oh, that's
families.
fucked up. Don't
You know
talk.
what? I'll be damned. They had 4 seasons. I told you.
Yeah. But the last
But I love this
episode,
show.
the baby, they said it's a, they said the whatchamacallit's going to, there was like there's a comet coming straight towards the Earth, and the baby looked at everybody and said, well, what's going to happen to us? And they got all sad in the fight, nigga.
It's dinosaurs. We already know they wasn't supposed to live.
But goddamn, you had to tell me that get the baby dinosaur. Tell me, yeah, we about to get blown the fuck up and then go extinct.
It's a baby dinosaur.
That was fun. I'm just
Do
saying.
you know who the voice of the baby
You
dinosaur
sound very
is?
uncompassionate right now,
I know.
therapist.
Oh my, I
The
know.
voice of Elmo is the voice of baby dinosaur.
But to have somebody that love animals so goddamn much, you have you guys a compassion.
And my cat.
All right, go
Why
ahead.
can't you see? Okay.
What's your number? What's your
I'm
number?
sorry.
Man, number
sorry.
4.
Go ahead.
Shit.
I know she throws some curveballs in this motherfucker today.
Silver Spoons. It wasn't that. It was
What's the name of the
Opal. Silver Spoons.
Silver Spoons was on a main
I
channel.
know these are like you just.
We're saying whatever show wasn't on your Monday through Friday
not
lineup.
like
I didn't.
CBS,
Hey.
ABC.
The only shows I can say that I watched faithfully was Family Matters, Boy Meets World.
all his shows were popular shows.
Yeah, I mean, with the. Besides that, I wasn't a really. I wasn't. You know.
Did you watch Highlander?
Yes, I watched Highlander.
Okay.
I said. I said that. Child in
Number 3. What's number 3?
Yeah. We're just gonna let you go.
Yeah, let me be. It's that kind of day. Fraggle Rock. God damn it. That's how I feel today. That's how I feel right now.
Y'all
That's
with these
how I
fucking
feel
Saturday morning cartoons.
Fraggle Rock actually came on HBO.
Kelly, if you don't get your wrong ass out of here, Fraggle Rock used to come on ABC on Saturday morning.
That's the cartoon.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fraggle Rock was a fucking Muppet show that came on HBO.
Oh, I was talking about the cartoon.
Stop being so young.
I was talking about the cartoon. I'm sorry.
Stop being so young.
I am young. You goddamn right.
Cartoon. I remember
Right?
the puppets.
I don't remember the puppets. All I remember is the cartoons. Nope.
Puppets was first.
I don't remember the
big
puppets
small
was first.
thing, them things.
I don't remember the puppets. I remember the cartoon.
Yeah, it was the Fraggle. They had this ugly one that was huge. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
He's moving just
Down
like
in
I know.
Yeah,
All right, turn
Fraggle
on.
Rock was Muppets.
I remember them. I always thought they was I never watched that though. I always watched cartoon.
Yeah.
Cartoon was my
Rock
shit.
came on HBO Sunday evenings.
All this shit came on in the fucking in the late 80s, early 90s.
This came on early 80s, baby.
Oh, that was early 80s. Oh, maybe that's why. Cause well, I wasn't born in the early 80s. I was born in the mid 80s. Actually, no, I was born in 83.
Yeah.
So what you call
I'm
yeah.
talking about
Go
your
ahead.
born in mid 80s.
Yeah, it started in 1983.
I already
It
talked
was on
about
for
me
5
dating
seasons
outside
on
of my
HBO.
And check the cartoon. 'Cause that's what I remember watching.
Nope.
Go.
Cartoon was shit.
No, don't hate on the cartoon. Cartoon was the shit. Was this shit. The shit. The shit. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right.
Let's argue about your next show.
I'm gonna get nah, because you know what, this next one I'm gonna go.
Cause you about to say something else popular.
Because it's still.
You about to say Martin, nigga. Look, what? No, nigga, we know. We know, nigga. No, I know. Exactly.
No. Shit. No. I did
Fall
not.
Guy?
No.
Dateline.
Hell no.
Yo, you got one more murder mystery, real life ass show to tell people that you watch. Before I call the cops on your ass. Like, what's going on?
If you really sit down and do the shows that Shannon and myself watch.
Dateline NBC. When she cut her husband dick off, yeah, that was my shit.
Some shit I
like,
saw.
Nigga.
And it was episodic, and they were talking about how.
The only lemons I can't even get away with fucking DuckTales.
Ooh,
good.
Yeah,
and that came
was that
on
random?
like channel 29.
That was random.
DuckTales, Tailspin.
It was that.
Yes.
No, first and foremost, don't let Kelly say yes, because I asked Kelly one time, she was like, what's Tailspin? I'm like, Baloo from Jungle Book, Higher for Hire, exactly.
Yeah, once you said who it was, I was like,
oh, now you remember. Yeah, exactly.
Little jacket.
Big bear, little jacket.
I was real pissed off at the reboot of DuckTales.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm glad they kept the music. That was my song, but the visual of it just didn't make.
All right, you're number one, man.
Uno.
I thought that was my number one.
That was your number one? No, nigga, you got one more.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Alf.
I hate you so much right now. None of these fucking popular ass shows.
Come here, kitty.
We're gonna let you go today.
Does everybody know what ALF stands for?
Alien life form.
Boom. And
Our
that
movement, because his movement used to be he used to just when he moved, it was just like up and down motion.
ha. Oh man. Alright. So my top five, I'm gonna rattle them off real quick. My number
There's a cat.
Hold up. I had an honorable mention. That nigga always. Did he ever really eat a cat?
I think they used to tell with the tail with his
You
mouth.
see the tail in the mouth.
He would get it to the tail, but then they would always get it out. Right.
Alf was about eating pussy. That's what it was about.
You just ruined that for me. Inappropriate.
So,
I'm trying to get a sound bite. Inappropriate.
oh shit. Oh man. All right, so top five. My number five. I had an honorable mention that it slipped my mind. Maybe I'll remember later. Number five. Hardcore porn. Pawn.
Wait.
Hardcore pawn.
I know what you're talking about.
Hardcore
The pawn
You
joint.
didn't say pawn.
I know I said pawn. I meant to say pawn. Oh, let me get my.
Again, y'all with the goddamn couple of foreplay during the podcast shit today. That's why you was it.
Did you say porn? I couldn't hear you.
So she was like, she
porn.
chirped. She pretty like, oh, you ready? Huh? You ready? You almost up there? That was up there.
Hardcore pawn. My number four, the hardcore pawn, but I actually fuck with that joint.
Yeah. It should be
Number four is a show that I used to watch, especially when we was in the Mr. House shopping. It was House Hunters. Oh, word? Really? That's what we doing? That's what we doing? Oh no, we did that.
It just happened.
Oh, okay, that's what we doing.
It just happened.
I know. Did you hear what she said?
It just happened.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. No.
Exactly. I'm trying to air out my motherfucking browser history. Give a fuck about what you talk about. I like what the fuck I like. And actually, I'm talking about my TV shows, not my porn. Thank you kindly. House Hunters was the shit. And I do have the same thing. Number three is Snapped.
Oh.
Yeah. I would watch that every once in a while.
Y'all just gonna snap out. Y'all just go to opposite points of the room.
I've only ever watched this show like twice, and I realized the reason why I didn't watch, but I only wanted to watch it because of the name of it, Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid?
I've watched it like twice. I was like trying to figure out what the hell was going on. You know what I'm saying? And there just really wasn't nothing going on.
I kept saying I was going to, and I felt as if I was going to be a
Naked
creep
and
just for one.
I've never watched it. But I need you to pull up Saturday Night Live. They do a skit of Naked and Afraid.
Right.
With the midget from
little person.
The little person, excuse me. The little person from Game of Thrones. I can't think of it.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage and Leslie Jones.
Oh, word.
Where they naked and afraid. And she loves Game of Thrones.
Right.
So it just takes it to a whole crazy another level. What's your number one?
And my number one is Ghost Hunters. I used to watch that. I used to watch that shit all the time. Yo, you ever notice it on Ghost Hunters?
I watched a whole lot of haunting shit though.
Oh, you know what's big preview before we go into the Naked Truth. We got a big time preview that
You
remind me.
Extra tight, brother. You got real hype.
No, don't do that. No, because that's just something I've been think about this for a while.
You got real turned up.
Hopefully for the month
hell no.
of October.
Fuck you, no.
Yup, yes,
Nope. Nope.
we are
damn self.
going on our haunted house crusade. Hopefully they'll be open back. If they're not, we are going to center a lot of our things around. We're going to have everybody tell ghost stories, like real live ones. Everybody got a paranormal story or two.
I got one from Edinburgh.
What we going to talk from Edinburgh? I used to walk around that dark ass campus a lot at night.
What? Told me she was late, and I was like, late for what?
No, I was in my dorm room.
You was in your dorm room in Earp?
What?
No, you was.
I was freshman year.
Which one? A or B?
I can't talk about this kind of stuff.
A? Oh yeah, Tower B. Yeah. All right.
Tower B, when I was there, was all guys.
Oh, okay.
And Tower A was all girls.
That's when they first built it. Yeah.
No.
But
That sound like William Penn and Franklin.
No, so wait a minute. No, but that's what I'm saying. We should really do we have to delve into this. If we don't, even if we don't get to the haunted houses, we gotta start telling.
Kelly, you scared of the haunted house?
We got a whole month before this takes place. Tomorrow is the 31st of August.
I know which one he wants to
so
go
we're
to.
going to, you know what I mean?
Y'all should do a sweepstakes and take a listen over.
Ooh, that would be nice. That'd
In
be,
my place, yeah.
But here's the thing, how are we going to record to the joint?
well, no, we might have to do some live shots and whatnot. Some live shots, some live talking and whatnot while we're there. Hopefully they'll be open, but this will be fun. Huh? Eastern State is under construction. I don't know why.
Eastern State is open.
It's open already?
Yeah.
Ooh. And for the haunted house part?
I don't know about that.
It's open for the tourists because somebody posted on my timeline. I saw it.
Yeah, they did a news story. They had like the precautions that they're taking.
Well, all right. So this leads me
I got
directly.
issues with taking tours in prisons, and I already took my own tours.
I'm good.
Can I please do the naked? Let me do the naked truth. This leads me directly into the naked truth. Know your motherfucking worth.
Yes.
Know your worth. I'm trying to tell you, man. If you don't know nothing else, I don't give a fuck if you think whatever you worth. Here we go. If you think that you're worth $15 million, hold on to that. Hold on to that. And whatever you bring to the table, hold on to that. Because can't nobody ever say that you flaking or you bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You understand your worth. You understand what you are. You understand what you bring to the table. Just rock with it, man. Honestly. And black people in general, man, stop devaluing people in your life because they don't agree with what you agree with.
How about that?
Because the moment they say fuck you know what I'm saying, and they achieve what they want to, or they sitting up in a higher spot, then you hating on them. You know what I'm saying? That's the naked truth. I'm done with all that. Know your worth. Value yourself.
So don't accept that big head and beyond that body works different. If you've been asking for a Louis Vuitton tote bag, you should get it.
And you better be somebody's well-deserving ass wife. Be somebody's well-deserving ass wife.
Ladies, if you want that handbag, ask for that handbag.
You are absolutely right. Be somebody's
Go for that bag. Get that bag.
Be somebody's well-deserving wife. Don't be that ain't shit ass bitch that think that you call it, because it ain't gonna happen.
Even if you ask for it for 3 Christmases.
3 Christmases.
Oh, word?
And a play.
Yeah, I'm about to shut her motherfucking mic
Anyway.
off.
But the quote for the night.
I know.
I'm trying to find some kind of help for you.
Quote for the night that goes along with everything that we've been talking about with knowing your worth. Think you're right. Think you're wrong.
Right.
Either way you're right.
Bang. Without further ado.
Think you can. Either way you're right. Uh-oh. Nasty shit about to happen.
And one more time, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman T'Challa, because we have our very own sexual avenger. And now it's time for this week's Tale from the Industry, featuring Dorado. What you got for me, Danger?
I'm gonna actually stay on course with this episode as I try to. My tales. This one is it might be a partial recyclement because I remember speaking somewhat about the situation before. When it comes to knowing your value. I'll say about 2005, I decided to get back into the adult modeling world. After I had been in it since 99, 2000. And a lot of things had changed and I didn't know that. I didn't do my homework as well. And the main photographer who hooked me up with most of my work hit me, yo, some magazines, some new magazines out. They get a couple other companies this, that, and other. They want to shoot you, you know, photo shoot this, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. He's like, but yeah, I mean, this you're gonna be, I mean, the third episode of this joint that comes out quarterly. So with that, I said, okay, I meet up with people. They come to Philly, so I go and meet them downtown hotel, this, that, and other, to set up do a contract and then do a shoot. While I'm sitting there, I read over the contract. It's pretty decent, pretty straightforward, but you know, in their behalf. And I'm just gonna get my little check and, you know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Right.
But I started thinking about the aspect of, he said, this is a new magazine for this company. This is the third episode that comes out quarterly. So I asked, do you plan on using my images for the cover? They said, why do you ask? Because if you do, I need a separate contract. So that I get perks off that.
Right.
Because if my image is what's going to sell your magazine, I need my cut. White guy said, smart man. Set up a contract because the fact of, like I said again, it was a quarterly thing. He actually, and this was he had another trick up his sleeve coming, you know what I mean, down the road, of course, as always.
Right.
But I set up a nice little percentage for that. Basically, he actually upgraded the amount of what I was getting paid for this shoot. They contract me into a second shoot as well. And for me to go to one promotional event. And the percentage was for a certain amount for the first year that the magazine was out. After the first year, it will drop down by a small percentage throughout the second year through the fifth year. After that, for lifetime, it will drop down to a small percentage. So as long as the company was up and that magazine was out under that name, I continually had checks coming in.
That's what's up.
Since it was a quarterly situation.
Right.
The bad thing was I didn't do my homework on what type of company it was. Or what type of magazine it was.
Okay.
And I literally did not find out or do my homework until, recall my story about when I went to Atlanta with the magazine?
Right.
That's when I found out that it wasn't a just regular, magazine, that they geared more towards the LGBT community. Which I was pissed like shit. I was super pissed. But, at that point, I also signed the contract. And so, hey, while I was down there, I did the second shoot. And both my shoots were by myself, so I got that money and, ran the same name. I did pretty much a second contract when I did that second shoot for, royalty off of the cover images, off the cover sales. But it kept me from basically, I didn't sign another contract to do another photo shoot.
Wow.
So, I knew enough that if I was going to be out there on the cover selling,
right.
In which the interesting thing about it is that issue of that magazine outsold everything else for the company on a quarter basis.
So you walked in there
nah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, that wasn't, that definitely wasn't what
That wasn't my wave. I wasn't on that wave. I wasn't on that, but that path. And I was very pissed off, and I was a young hothead still too then.
Right. So you felt the way.
I definitely felt some kind of way.
Right.
I made a smart business move, but I would have made a smarter business move, and knew my worth even more of saving myself from headaches, because I went through a whole lot of backlash within the business. Because again, as I say, from the sales off that, these motherfuckers mess around and made a DVD.
Oh shit.
Yeah, made a DVD, and of course we already know what kind of magazine this is.
Right.
So they made a DVD because everybody's shoots were, they had a still photographer, they had a videographer.
All the shoots.
So they turned them into, with the solo artists, masturbation, vids.
Oh shit.
Because ultimately, I released it in the video. That's what, Unfortunately, there was a couple people who...
Did you say released it in the video?
Yeah, cash check. On the table.
Pause.
On the table. Yeah. Yeah, go crazy. Go crazy.
Jesus Christ.
But, again, I was smart enough to make the deal to make sure I got long-term benefits off of the sales off of selling your shit out, because even the same thing when the fucking except they fucked me up with the DVD.
But how did everything turn out as far as the money you made from it?
I was collecting checks until that company name went for bankruptcy in 2012. So from 2005 till 2012, I had some coins coming in, every 3 months. Every 3 months, check came in the mail.
Well, and that is what it's all about, my friend. Even though it wasn't your cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was selling your cup of tea out of a coffee shop, but guess what? It was what it was.
But I was smart. Like I say, I made a smart choice, but I should have made a smarter choice, and that's whatever. If people offer you money in this life, in this business, and Shannon was talking about this earlier, you was talking about this earlier, when it comes to jobs, we need to find out what all you expecting from me.
Right.
Because if you're expecting more than what I'm expecting or I'm comfortable with doing, it doesn't matter how much you're trying to pay.
That's true.
It won't
very
qualify.
True. That's very true. And that has been another tale from the industry.
Yeah.
But oh man, turn that down.
Can I give a couple real quick? I gotta give it's not. Of course, for our fallen star. I gotta say a quick rest in peace to my club brother, my hangout party, my compadre. My fellow rock star, Twisters, F.M. King, AKCK. He just passed Thursday night. Seizure and stuff. Seizure and sleep.
Rest in peace, good brother.
Rest in peace to him. Prayers for his family. I just found out last night one of my little pups, one of my little brothers, Corey. Oh my God, I raised him. I raised him from a kid, man. He lived across the street from me on 25th Street. I just had a long ass conversation with him last week, man. Rest in peace to him, man.
Rest in peace, young man.
I'm about to come down the way down. Go check on his, his pop and his mom and stuff. Come on, we gotta, we got black people. We gotta stop killing each other. It's bad enough they taking us out. We can't be taking each other out, man.
Very true.
That ain't right. We lost the star fighting.
Yeah.
But he was still fighting and still trying to get his point across. And his spirit will live forever with us. Rest in paradise.
Yep.
All of our father.
Yep. Long live the kings. Anybody with y'all? Everything good with y'all? Everybody weak? We gonna come in. We gonna be recording early on Friday because me and Mrs. Know-It-All have a vacation to attend to.
I'm back out. I'm back out of town next weekend too. So.
Yeah, so Friday is going to be recording day. You guys will get all of your goodness, all of your Mr. Know-It-All podcast.
Brought to you by the True Blue.
Oh yeah. How about that?
You know what I mean?
Guess who did the spot today?
Voice of Bluetooth.
Guess who did the spot today?
I know Shannon did a Bluetooth spot today. I didn't even say yeah, she did it, yo.
On it popping.
But
I've been thinking about doing it for a while now.
Wow.
fuck is that? Oh, this is
So
fucking
that's where you gotta do
podcast,
the
man.
Matrix.
Yo, so alright, listen. Make sure you go to bluechew.com/knowitall. Bluechew.
You said you've been supposed to get
I'm sorry. No.
Did you want
I'm
a sample
sorry.
yet?
ChewItDoIt.com/knowitall. ChewItDoIt.com/knowitall. Or go to bluechew.com. Promo code knowitall, all one word. Shout out Spotify listeners, Apple Podcast listeners, Google Podcast listeners, Stitcher listeners, Anchor listeners,
Home team.
YouTube viewers.
We see you. Y'all don't see me this week, but I see you.
YouTube viewers, please get with us on IG at Mr_Knowitall_pod. Facebook fan page. Get with us for all our shenanigans over there. The Mr. Know-It-All podcast fan page. And please send us all your fuckery, duckery, and schmuckery over to todd@gmail.com.
The fan page has been popping this week.
Yeah, fair
I've been
page.
coming up with some questions.
You've been,
seeing some posts and
Kelly been on
Yeah,
fucking fire.
I've been trying to chip in a little bit here and there.
I see you, Rob. I see you.
Yeah, I've been trying to chip in with my shit, cause y'all know I really don't be on social media too much. So
we got over.
It's
But the
just
fan
shit
page
that
is
pops up
popping.
it's shit that pops up in my head, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna
We
ask this
appreciate
question to the world. Like, what you thinking about?
We got over 600 members on there now, so that's what's up.
Appreciate
You know what I'm
it.
saying?
So the next question we're going to talk about, I posted today. We got to talk about it next week or next one. And how it depends on how many people actually spoke on it.
Right.
But it hit me. They always tell you that a baby won't keep a man. Good sex won't keep a man. So I asked the men of the group, what keeps you?
Want to be kept.
Y'all like the people when the therapy hour is almost over and y'all got 5 minutes left and y'all just want to open up a new topic and I'm looking at my watch.
That's the type of shit that happens though.
Yeah, that's
shout out to Burning Leaf too. I think for the damn drink. I need that too.
Oh yeah. All right. So
we'll talk about that next week.
we'll talk about that next week. On behalf of my constituents, on behalf of our guest, Mrs. Know-It-All.
Thank you.
SJTS. Thank you, baby. Love you.
Her name is Shan.
The name is Shannon.
She's a person.
Yeah, she's
unto herself.
Yeah, she is a person unto herself. This nigga right here,
Your boy Rough
It's so
Rider,
good to
Ruffy
have
Hendrix,
energy.
Marvelous
Smurfette.
Fuck you.
You say bye to the people, please.
Bye, people.
All right. I'm Mr. Know-It-All.
I thought that was Little Hot Chocolate.
Oh yeah, she did say the little new name was Little Hot Chocolate.
See, and I get Mrs. Know-It-All.
She did that. She did that last week.
Yeah,
Last week I was drinking hot chocolate.
Yo,
Like, what's your name? I was like,
I'm going to end this.
No, you chose to. You've been working on it without saying anything, and you knew you were prepared to do the Blue Chew joint. I didn't even hear it, but guess what? The responses from that face mean you fucking killed it, since you fucking rock.
Oh my gosh. On behalf of my constituents, I'm going to end this podcast. Check it out.
I'm glad
We love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. And I meant every fucking thing I said today.
You're supposed to. Every goddamn time.
You cannot forget.
What they can't commit.
Must remember.
And
They must always
remember. Yep. Wakanda forever.
Bitch. Rest well, kings. Rest well, queens.
I gotta go watch it now.
Pray for us all.
Okay. Let me know when we're not recording anymore.
Why not?
Hold on.
I need some more wax, my weed. I'm about to put more wax in my pen and take a puff again and float away to another atmosphere. I'm about to take another dab, another dab, another.